Mystic, thank you. Can't believe you missed it. Hey everyone, how's everybody doing? Oh, I'm having a very awesome day. I'm having a very awesome day. Hello. Oh, I got a little cut on my finger though. I don't know where I got it. It's like a little like paper cut or something. Just enough to be like a little bit annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like probably not valid enough for me to actually complain about, but like valid enough where it's just annoying the living hell out of me. I'm not even wearing my hat. Shoot. My hair looks all freaking crazy today. Didn't even do my hair. 1 second, y'all. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry about that. I was looking for my water bottle. My bad. I left the microphone on and everything. I apologize. I couldn't find my water bottle. My bad. I can't start the live without my emotional support water bottle. All right. Can't start the live without my emotional support water bottle. Just can't happen. How's Rupert? Rupert's doing well. Rupert's doing well. Mystic, thank you so much for the gift. I want to throw that up there. I know you did it super, super early, so I don't want to to miss out. Make sure I thank you for that. So thank you, Mystic, for the gifted. I really, really appreciate that. W's in the chat for Mystic for the early gifted. Like I had barely hit start live, and it was like boom. I was like already there. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, it was super fast. I was like, goodness gracious. Ivan said, probably the truth and nothing but the truth. Thank you for that, Ivan. I appreciate that $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what specifically you're talking about, but or maybe you're just saying it in general, which is very sweet. Thank you. Denzel, my mental health is excellent, and I hope yours is also. We did have a little bit of a stressful mental health day, but nothing serious. Just thinking about stuff. You know how it be. You know how we do. Just thinking about some stuff. It's fine. Well, Denzel, I'm sorry to hear that your mental health was bad, but I am happy. Thank you for that. I am happy that the cookies helped. What kind of cookies? Fuck. Thank you for that, Ivan. Corey, I don't even know. Like, this is Snickerdoodles, Denzel, Snickerdoodles are the best cookies. Snickerdoodles are the best cookies. They always help my mental health. They always help my mental health. It's a ridiculous comment, Corey. This is absolutely ridiculous. Want to say hi, Sister Mary? How are you doing? Oh my goodness, check that out. I was just saying hi to everyone. Shay, VJ, how's everybody doing today? Ogden, I see you. Shannon, Mystic, Patsy, how's all my favorite members doing? And Mystic coming over the top here with 5 more gifted memberships to start the day. We got Dominic, Ashley, Sister Mary Elephant, who's been with me for a long time. King Aaron, it's NY. Everybody just got memberships. Big Dubs to Chef for Mystic for the 5 gifteds over there. That is absolutely epic. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Mystic. W's a chat for Mystic. Thank you so much, Mystic. And big W's chat for if you just got one of those. That is absolutely huge. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Anyways, we're about to get this thing going, get this thing moving like we do every single day. Oh, see, I'm not even prepared today. This is what happens when I post a video too close to going on live. It throws off my whole day. Got a lot of people complaining about my video today, too. Isn't that fun? Apparently, people get really sad when I criticize Democrats. It's crazy. People get really mad when I criticize Democrats. Mystic, again, thank you so much for the gifteds. I appreciate that. That's okay. They can be mad. That's okay. They're allowed to be mad. That is, while we still have free speech, I believe we can be mad. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. All right. We're just getting this thing going, getting this thing moving. All right. Now we're getting ready to go. All right, y'all. Y'all, thank you guys for coming in. As you guys are coming in, please come in the chat. Say hi. Represent yourself. Say what's up. Does help my live to keep moving. Does keep my live to keep moving. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're gonna get this thing started with some phone calls, some banter, some conversation. So if you if you do still support Trump and you'd like to have a conversation, 2 ways you can do it. You can either enter the little guest request box on the one app that allows you do that, and the other way is to call the number that's above my head or to the next to me, depending on which live you're at. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. All right. You guys are doing awesome. You guys are amazing. I love each and every one of. I had a yoga instructor that said that. I did yoga for like once a week for like 6 months. I learned nothing. But it was for my back pain. So, hey, it wasn't bad. What'd she say? She would say, I see the light that shines in every single one of you. That's what she would say. At the end of every session, she would say, I see the light that shines in each and every one of you. Tara, thank you so much for the money, God. It always used to make me laugh. Yeah, it was sweet. It was sweet. But it did get me every single time where I was just like, aw. All right, well, we had a guest in the guest request box on TikTok, but they left. So we're going to open up the phone lines and get this thing moving. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right, and goodbye. We're already... Hopefully we start a little better than we did yesterday. Hello, how are you? Hello. All right, y'all, if you're going to call in, you won't hear me on the live. You'll hear me on the phone. Hello, how are you?
Well,
Hi, how old are you?
18.
No, I'm good. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, more so than not, but it's wavering a little bit.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
I'm a bit upset with the H-1B visa. I believe it was announced that it was going to be a $100,000 fee per employee
That's correct.
annually, but in my understanding, that might not actually be accurate. It might be $100,000 for like a one-time payment or over a course of 6 years, which is very different. So,
I mean, it's slightly different. I mean, if it's over the course of 6 years, that's pretty much changing it from $30,000 over 6 years to $100,000 over 6 years. That would be over triple.
Right. But that is very different than $100,000 a year annually.
I mean, sure, but what's your point?
So the point is if it's $100,000 annually, you're effectively pricing out a lot of the foreign labor and opening those jobs up for American citizens. Whereas if you make it, $100,000 over 6 years, it's just more revenue for the government. So the whole purpose behind raising the prices, bringing the money in for the government rather than helping the American workers.
All Donald Trump has done is try to bring in money for the government. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that, like, when you announce it that it's going to be $100,000 a year annually, and it ends up not being $100,000 annually, it kind of lying to our face. So that's upsetting.
Sure, Donald Trump lies to your face literally daily. I don't know why you'd be surprised about this one.
Well, I mean, this is the most blatant that I've seen it. So,
really? Like 4 days ago, he said Tylenol causes autism.
There's evidence that it increases the risk.
No, there is not.
Substantially.
No, there's not.
Well, it's about a 20% increase based on like Harvard studies.
Yeah, that Harvard study actually specifically said that there is absolutely no causal link in between the two.
That's not what I remember from seeing it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but what they showed was a causation versus correlation fallacy, and they specifically picked that out. They said it in the study specifically that, yes, we saw Tylenol in this, given to these people, and then we saw an increase of that. But actually, when we compared them to their siblings, that entire causation went away. It was just a fallacy within their observation, which they recognized.
Sure. So I guess my question to you would be, like, what would be the purpose of saying that then? Was it an intentional lie? Was it a mistake? Like, if it was a lie, what's the purpose
Sir, Donald Trump
behind
had
the
over
lie?
30,000 confirmed lies or misleading statements in his first term alone. Donald Trump told you that the sound from windmills causes cancer. He told you that we were looking into injecting disinfectant into the bloodstream. He told you that we were talking about nuking hurricanes. He literally got up on stage and drew a line, like had the entire, like, National Weather Service had a whole hurricane track, and he just got up there and like redrew it with, like, with a marker. He said that we were bombing airports in the Revolutionary War. Donald Trump lies like with every time he opens his mouth. What are you talking about?
Well, again, I'm talking about like the most blatant. You announce a thing, I'm excited about the thing, and it turns out the thing is not the thing. Is very different than saying some, stuff that might not be accurate with Tylenol. But my question still kind of stands. Like, what do you think the purpose of that lie would be, or was it just an idiotic mistake?
It's not an idiotic mistake. Donald Trump doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay, so if he doesn't know what he's talking about, you would just label it a lie, not a mistake, even if it's,
Well, I mean, his
a
entire
ridiculous
presidency would be a
mistake.
mistake if that's the case. Donald Trump literally gets on television literally every other day, or Caroline Levitt does in his place, and says that other countries are paying tariffs. They literally get on every single day and they're like, we have all these other countries paying tariffs, when literally everybody paying tariffs is Americans.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me what the point of that lie is.
I mean, I didn't see that exactly, but it is factually correct that, basically the Americans burden almost the entire cost of tariffs. That is, economically accurate for sure.
Yeah, but he gets
But
on
the
stage
way,
and says that foreign countries are paying it literally at least once a week. At least once a week since he started implementing tariffs, 6 months ago. He has got on stage or on his Truth Social and said that other countries are paying tariffs, and that those other countries are now investing into the American tax system by paying those tariffs. Tell me what the point of that lie is.
again, I would agree with you that the economic burden is on the American citizen. I still, for the most part, support the tariffs. I kind of see it like, if you break your arm, you go to the doctor and they need to set the bone. It's really going to hurt, but the bone needs to be
Sir,
set
I'm
for,
not
like,
arguing
it
the
to heal
efficacy
properly.
of tariffs. I'm asking you why Donald Trump is lying about them.
Because politicians lie. I mean, they all lie. I don't
Not
support
like
the
Donald
lies,
Trump has.
but I can. Um, maybe. I mean, I'm not counting lies for each side. I
Really?
just think they're all snakes.
Yeah,
But
but
like,
people
the point
do.
is I support the tariffs, regardless of if he's saying that other countries are paying it or we're paying it.
Sir, you do realize 30,000 lies or misleading statements over his first term equals like double digits of lies a day from Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, I don't even know if he speaks that much. I don't have anything to fact check
Okay.
30,000
Well,
lies.
then
But
let me just break this thing down for you. You being
sure.
surprised that Donald Trump is lying, okay, is the same as you like being surprised that you walked out your door and the sun came up. Okay? He does it literally as he breathes. Okay? That's all he does is lie. All right? And so you being surprised that he's lying is crazy.
I mean, okay, I mean, I can understand that argument. It's more so I'm surprised that he lied about this, was very clearly not what was announced. And what he did announce would have been actually good for the country, but he decided not to do that. So, I mean, that's more so what's upsetting me. Not necessarily that he lied, it's that he lied about that and did not actually implement the policy that was best for the American workers when he announced that that was going to be the policy.
Okay.
But that's about it. Unless you had anything else, I appreciate you taking my call.
All right. Guys, if tariffs were really being paid by other countries, that would also be good for Americans. But he lies. If he was going to do 90 deals in 90 days, that also would have been good for the country. But he lies. If he had actually stopped 7 wars, that would have been good for the world. But he lies. Everything he says would be good if he wasn't lying, except he's lying. He's always lying. His entire campaign was just him lying. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, oh, I'm so surprised about this lie. Why? All right, anyways, we're going to keep moving this thing on. I really appreciate you. Sherry, thank you so much for that money gun. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're going to keep this thing going, keep this thing moving. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh. Yeah, I just don't get it. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'd be doing better if you turn off the live in the background.
Turn up the what?
Turn off the live in the background so I don't have to hear it.
Oh, I didn't mean to. Wasn't trying to be rude or anything.
Yeah, it's just annoying. So, how old are you?
In my 30s?
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No. I was just trying to. I just saw this YouTube live, and I was just trying to talk about being blackpilled.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not interested. Have a good day. All right. We're going to move on to the next person. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Chill. I'm way chill. Guys, if you're going to call in, turn off the live. I don't want to hear it. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
26.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I'm moderate on him right now.
You're moderate on fascism? That's weird.
I would say I'm like 70%.
You're 70% on fascism. That's even worse.
I wouldn't say okay. I think that's like there's a difference in like choosing both sides. Like I think you can see the good in both sides. I don't think any candidate or any politician is ever going to be 100% something you want. That being said, I do agree where like there are things that he's doing that's wrong, of course. I don't agree with all of it. But then there's some things where I'm like, okay, I agree with that, but you have to I think that like more than anything you can see with the American politics today is like even though he could be fascist and like has like the last election he said he won but he didn't, but American democracy still prevails, like judicial branch still prevails. Like he wasn't president. Like as much as the president wants to be like says like, oh, I will stay in power, he didn't. Like there are still checks and balances involved.
Yeah, can I be completely honest with you?
Sure.
That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. And I'm not truly not even me trying to be rude, but to be like, oh, we have a president that's trying to be an authoritarian fascist, but it's okay because hopefully the rest of our system stops it, is a ridiculous argument. Like, yeah, the system could have stopped Hitler. It could have stopped Mussolini. It didn't. It could have stopped Orban. It could have stopped Putin. It didn't. Authoritarians find a way to get around that system to get to a point where they get their agenda done. Like, just hoping that the system is going to catch someone when we've seen throughout history that a lot of times it doesn't is just ridiculous.
I can see what you mean by that. I mean, I would argue in some ways that there are different governments than ours, but I see what you mean.
Yeah, when we have our checks and balances, we have one group, which is the legislative branch, right, who is literally like just allow Donald Trump to do whatever he wants. Donald Trump has literally taken their power away from them, right? Things like tariffs. Tariffs are supposed to be a legislative branch thing. They've just allowed Donald Trump to just do whatever he wants. They've given their power, that check, to the president. You have the judicial branch, right, who ruled that the president has immunity. Literally is like immune from criminal charges.
Yeah, I didn't agree with what they said for that.
Yeah, they gave him the power.
Like they've said that the president already had a lot of immunity in the Constitution. Like it's very hard to impeach a president.
Okay, I'm not talking about impeachment. You understand that, right?
Yes, I'm saying that I know what you're talking about, where they said he basically, yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that in general, before they even made that, he had a lot of immunity to begin with.
Ma'am, I'm just being just. You said our democracy prevailed, and I am showing you how our democracy is stopping to prevail. Right? I'm showing you how authoritarians, when put in power, find ways to consolidate power so that democracy ceases to exist. This is why you can't just be like, oh well, I know he's trying to be an authoritarian, a fascist, but I like his immigration policy. Like, who else had great immigration policy? Hitler. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's important to recognize these things. That way we can stop them. The more that we just allow them to continue and just do whatever they want, the more chance we have of them just taking over.
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's fair.
Yep.
Fair point. I mean, there's no arguing that he's not trying to be. There's no arguing that like these things happen in history before, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but you recognize that, and you still say you support him 70%.
I think every single candidate, or like, we're gonna have some difficulty like agreeing with them on everything. I mean, I think that no matter what, you're going to disagree with your candidate on something. I think at the end of the day, your president deserves some support, but not obviously. We live in a free country. We can say whatever we want online, as you're doing right now. Like, we can say whatever we want. We can protest. We can do our, like, I think our country has so many liberties, and so, like, we're so protected with our rights in some ways. Of course, it's changing every day, but like, the fact that we have the freedom to say all this and, speak online. Of course, I understand the censorship that's happening right now.
Donald Trump literally is using his government to stop free speech.
In some ways, your president needs at least some
Donald Trump is literally stopping things like this from happening right now in this country.
He could try, but once again, it doesn't always work. It doesn't work.
Gotcha. So as long as he doesn't succeed in being an authoritarian, then that's okay. It's okay to have a president that's an authoritarian, as long as he does it, as long as we stop him someplace. Okay. This is a ridiculous conversation.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, have a good night.
You too. This is a ridiculous conversation. Y'all, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Ivan, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, Paulie, facts hurt all MAGA supporters, and they feel they need to support Trump's stupid behavior. Yes, they get up on their fifis, and that's okay. That's okay. We allow people to be in their fifis as long as I get paid therapy rates. Y'all, thank you guys for being here. Let's move on to the next caller. I appreciate you guys. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 20 years old. Just turned 21, actually.
Oh, okay.
And I have an amazing thing to say. I can proclaim that I am the first human being to...
All right, I'm just going to move on to the next caller. That just already sounded like a waste of time. Anyways. Yeah, we're just gonna move on from that guy. We don't need to continue on with that anymore. Hello, how are you? All right, goodbye. There will be no proclamations on my live. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I'm sorry?
Do you still support Trump?
Not anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm only looking for Trump supporters right now, but I hope you have a good one. Please, if you're going to call in, please still be supporting Trump. We are definitely not doing friendly hour at the moment, but I appreciate you. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi, hello.
Hi, how old are you?
29.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
Well, I think we're doing like an experiment right now, and we don't really know like what the result might be in a year.
What's the experiment?
Well, the tariff experiment.
Tariffs are not an experiment. We lived off of tariffs for a long time in this country.
Right, but the way he's doing like his tariffs, like we don't know what the result might be. Like it's bad
Yes, we
now,
do.
but maybe in 2 years it'll be good.
Yeah, and maybe in 2 years, the flying spaghetti monster will come down from his pasta colander in the sky and sprinkle us all with Parmesan.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just waiting for the result of the tariffs to make my decision if I still support him or not. Like,
Gotcha.
it's not great right now, but it might be good in the future.
And how will it get better?
How will it get better? Well, there's a lot of like good manufacturing jobs that we ship overseas, so those jobs can possibly come back.
Donald Trump's not trying to bring jobs back, though.
Well, I mean, so I'm kind of in the semiconductor industry, so like I hear things here and there. So do you know about TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductors Manufacturing Company?
Yeah, do you know the only reason TSMC is here?
Yeah, so Joe Biden had a good idea. Like I agree, the CHIPS Act was a good idea, but the issue was there was some geopolitical risk with Taiwan. Like they want some leverage in case China invades, so they didn't have their best factory planned for America. Whereas the tariffs, so when Joe Biden offered TSMC $6 billion, they kind of just said, no, we don't need your money, actually. Whereas when Trump threw in tariffs, it was directly going to attack, their bottom line, no matter how like rich they are. So then they're like, okay, fine.
That doesn't even make any sense.
We'll accelerate. Well, it does because
first of all, they did take the money.
The tariffs would harm them more
first
than
of all, they did take the money, and second of all, they'd already had a plan to build and already broken ground on half of them to build 7 factories already here. So therefore, the tariffs wouldn't have affected them regardless.
Well, they declared that 2 nanometer was going to be open at 2030, and then recently they just accelerated that to 2027.
Okay, and why are those factories here?
Because we want.
All right.
Like
let me break this down. Okay. Let me make this clear. The Chips and Sciences Act is the reason that the factories are here. Okay, because of the government subsidies in which the Biden put in, they took a lot of money to come here. Okay, and we did that so we could isolate ourselves from from China, from Taiwan, like in case of a wartime situation. What you're talking about is now the chips that they will be making in those factories that are only here because of Biden. Okay, so the tariffs would not have affected them because the factories were already being built or already built here. And since there was already breaking ground, there was already 1 open factory, there was two more they'd broken ground on, and 4 more planned over the next 10 years. Okay, since those factories were already here, they wouldn't have been affected by Donald Trump's tariffs anyway.
Well, I think recently that status has changed. If you look up Taiwan's like recent policy change. Because their leaders were saying that this was not you cannot send the best factories to America, like the Taiwanese leaders. So that was always a little contentious, like how early we would get the best, most advanced chips. And also, Trump did support our own company, so we have our own version of TSMC. It's called Intel. Intel is the American version of TSMC, but it needed some more money to kind of get their factory going, and Biden only gave Intel $3 billion, whereas Trump gave the rest of the money so that Intel doesn't go bankrupt.
Intel is not the United States TSMC. Intel would be the United States NVIDIA, okay, because they would be the designers of those chips, okay. TSMC and again, Donald Trump didn't support Intel. He bailed Intel out and became made as a socialist country in which the government has a controlling stake in their company.
Yeah, so
you support socialism?
Intel. I think socialism can work in certain areas.
Yeah, okay.
Like we have Medicare and Social Security. I don't think those are capitalist.
They're not.
Right. So I mean, in some ways, we're kind of like a mixed match.
I'm still trying to understand how the chips that were already being made in factories in the United States are now being made in factories in the United States because of Trump's tariffs.
Right. So
because you've yet to no, sir. I understand the 2 nanometers. I understand the advanced chips. I understand all of that. Yeah, that you don't need to repeat any of that. Okay. How did Donald Trump's tariffs affect that when the chips already had the ability to be made in the United States?
Right. So I might just repeat myself again. So I'm
Can
sorry.
you please
if it
not?
sounds-
Because like this is why I'm like forcing the question because I keep asking and you keep not answering.
Right. So originally it was going to be 2030, whereas we recently pushed the timeline up to 2027.
And how did the tariffs do that?
Yeah. So the $6 billion in subsidies was not enough incentive for TSMC to move their process over because they didn't need $6 billion. But if you threw like a 20%, 30% tariff, that's significantly more than $6 billion.
How?
What do you mean? Like 20% off of like 1 trillion?
Sir,
sales is
that
like
money wouldn't have
$200
been
billion.
affected because the factory was already here.
It's not.
You're
though.
not adding 20% because the factory was already here.
No, they were going to finish the factory by 2030.
No, they were going to finish like the fifth factory by 2030.
Right, but we're talking about the fastest process, not
There was
like
already a
N3.
factory open in Arizona.
Yeah, but
You
not
don't-
for N2.
All right. This is a joke of a conversation. All right. Anyways, do you have anything else to talk about?
Yeah. So when Biden was president, Intel was $20, and now Trump's president, Intel's $35.
Yes, the stock market always goes up.
Well, I mean, it went to
Look at
$35
Intel.
after
Look at what
Trump-
Intel was in Donald Trump's first administration, and look what it was under Biden's administration. It was higher under Biden's administration.
Well, that's separate. I mean, politics.
Oh,
is not involved in
gotcha. So if Donald Trump had it lower and then Biden had it higher, insignificant. If Biden had it lower and then Trump had it higher, completely significant.
Well, I hope that, at the time, Biden would support Intel faster. That's why he did the CHIPS Act to begin with. But I just felt like his response was a little bit lacking because he ended up offering foreign countries more money than, our own company. So that's why I was like, yeah, a little disappointed.
Yeah, the Biden administration subsidized Intel with $7.86 billion in direct funding and 25% investment tax under the Chips and Sciences Act. That's bullshit.
Well, so only $3 billion got dispersed. The rest got given to Intel by Trump. And
Nope.
there was
And
just
in
some milestones that
addition,
Intel had to hit.
in addition, Intel received a separate $3 billion contract for its secure enclave program to the manufacturer leading chips for the United States government. So that $3 billion was on top of the $7.86 billion I just mentioned and the 25% investment tax credit.
Yeah, so it allocated a certain amount of money, but like they didn't receive it, right? So I mean, how did Trump give Intel the CHIPS Act money if they already got the money?
Because the CHIPS Act was over a 10-year plan. Trump didn't give it to him. Biden gave it to him. It just hit when Trump was president.
Trump gave it to them faster, and I'm saying that's good.
No, Trump did not give it to them faster. He just gave them Biden's money.
Yeah, faster.
Not faster.
Like, screw the 10-year plan. Give it to them now. Like, they need it now.
Gotcha. All right. You have no idea what you're talking about. This is a true joke. A second ago, you told me Trump gave it to him and that Biden didn't give him anything. And now that I show you that Biden gave it to him, you confuse the money and don't know where it came from. And then all of a sudden, now the money was given by Biden, but Trump just gave it to them faster. So you've switched your subject, your stance on this and moved the goalpost 3 times.
No, I said Biden gave him $3 billion, and then there was $5 billion more that he should have given to them, but he didn't.
He did.
And then Trump came in and gave it to them.
He did.
Okay, well, let's talk about a different subject. Okay, so I think Trump's better for national security.
I'm just going to put this on the screen for everyone so that you have no clue what you're talking about. But anyways, what's up? How is he better for national security?
Yeah, so I think he's better for national security because he's a strong leader. And I think other countries respect a strong leader.
How was he a strong leader?
So, well, would you say that if you survived the bullet and you got up and you raised your fist that you're pretty strong?
No.
What do you mean? Like, if somebody shot you, wouldn't you be scared?
I heard the question the first time and it was asked and answered.
Oh, okay. Well, I think a lot of foreign leaders probably saw that and was like, damn, that guy is pretty strong.
Let's be first straight up. Donald Trump didn't get shot. So let's
He got shot at. That's true.
shot
Yeah, he got
at.
shot
Yeah,
at.
sure. He didn't get shot.
Right. So, I mean, at the time, like, how does he know that, like, when he gets up, that he's not going to get shot, you know? Like, he didn't know that.
Sir, how does that make him a strong leader? Let's just pretend that he did get shot. Let's pretend that that happened. Okay. And let's pretend that he did go up and put his fist up. How does that make you a strong leader? And how has the world responded to that?
Well, I think, like, if you're a strong and, like, courageous person, that reflects in, like, every aspect of your life. So if you're strong and courageous in that situation, you're probably strong, courageous in other situations. Like, what if we got into a war and you need to make, like, difficult decisions?
Yeah. And so the world has responded by making fun of him, laughing at him, not showing any respect to him whatsoever, doing whatever they want. Netanyahu has walked all over him. Putin has walked all over him. Hell, even the European leaders got all together and walked all over him. And that included people like France. We got walked over by France. Fucking the Japanese have freaking made have screwed around with this freaking trade deal and freaking not even done anything. Literally, even Canada stood up to freaking Donald Trump and just completely shit all over him. Who the hell is respecting him?
Well, he just signed a pretty historic deal about Gaza today, or was it yesterday?
No, he signed a letter of demand, not a deal.
Well, it's like a pretty big peace deal, right?
It's a
Like, he's about to solve the
ceasefire
Gaza
deal
issue.
that the other side hasn't agreed to.
Well, I think it's on them to agree to it then, because it's a pretty good deal.
Sir, if he doesn't get them to agree with him, that's another show that they don't respect him.
I mean, we'll see. I mean,
We'll
I
see.
read,
So
like, the
how? What
details
has
and it
he
looks pretty good.
actually done?
What has he actually done?
Yeah.
Like, in terms of what?
In
Like,
terms of anything
national
with foreign
security?
policy that actually showed that he was getting respect.
Well, you're not gonna like this answer, but I think his tariffs were pretty effective.
Yeah, gotcha. So nothing.
Not nothing. Like,
Remember
I
how
think
he
his
put
like,
all those
achieved,
tariffs
like,
on?
what they're going
Remember how
for.
he put all those tariffs on? He's like, these tariffs, everybody's gonna come to the table. Everybody, my phone won't stop ringing. I go to my desk and my phone will not stop ringing. All these countries are calling me. They're begging for deals. 90 deals in 90 days. We're gonna have 90 deals in 90 days, I'll tell you. And then how many deals have gotten done?
There's a lot of deals
2. The answer's 2.
with, like, pretty big countries, right? Like China and Japan.
Nope, neither of those have signed trade deals.
Are you sure? I mean, because
Yes,
when
I'm sure.
I was in China, so I'm Chinese, and when I was in China, a lot of stuff got tariffed. Like, I saw the tariffs, so they are
Mhm.
getting tariffed.
Yeah, you were in China watching things get tariffed in the United States.
Well, I had family members, and they were like, "Oh yeah, my business was affected by the tariffs."
Guys, he was just walking around and he was just watching tariffs 4,000, 5,000 miles away. Just, oh my goodness, there's a tariff. I can just see all of these
like, they're
tariffs. They
getting
just keep
tariffs. Like,
flying
it's
at
not
me.
big
I was just
tariffs.
walking down the street and I just kept getting hit in the face with tariffs. It was wild. I couldn't even walk down the
I also
street
think,
without
like,
just getting slapped in the face with tariffs. It was
well, I
absolutely
also
wild.
think, like, tariffs could have been really bad for the stock market, and we have a lot of leverage right now. Like, the stock market's doing pretty good, so, like, we can sort of, like, trade blow for blow with the other countries and hold the tariffs high until they kind of capitulate. Like, we're in a pretty good position right now.
We are not. If we were, then they would have worked.
Well, it takes time for people to feel, like, the economic effects.
No, they just started trading with each other.
I don't think so. I mean, we're still exporting, like, the same amount.
Yeah, literally, we have not exported a single soybean this entire fucking year. Like, literally, tens of thousands of farm workers are being put out of business right now, and farms are going out of business because they can't export.
Oh, okay. Well, that's new information to me, and I will look that up after our conversation. That would be a pretty strong argument on your side.
Yes, it is quite a strong argument, which is why I used it. I completely
Well, I
agree.
would look this up
That is the
sometime.
first thing this is the first thing that we agree on, is that was a very good argument. Yes, I will agree with that 100%.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll fact check it. I'm pretty open minded. Like, I have my views, and so, like, I like to get challenged. You could prove me wrong. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm just
well,
trying to,
I'm glad.
like,
I'm glad to hear that. But I am going to move on to the next caller. So I hope you have a wonderful day. All right.
all right. I also don't like immigrants, by the way.
That does not surprise me. I also don't like immigrants. That's the real words that just came out of his mouth. Tattoo Tech, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Tatted Tech, sorry, said draft Dodgers are brave now. Strange. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird news to me. Tatted Tech, news to me. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And Velvet, thank you so much for the $2 Canadian. Said thoughts on Kyle Kulinski? Have none. Do not know who that is. But thank you for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. And Don, thank you so much for the 10 jewels. I appreciate that. Y'all, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next caller. If you would like to support the live, I do have super chats open. Oh my goodness, people start calling too fast. I do have super chats open, so if you'd like, I like to talk about them between callers. So if you'd like to support, that's a great way to do it. I really appreciate you. Also, I have working on my live gift goal over here. Almost done with that on TikTok. I also do have my pay links in my bio: Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. Also, please consider becoming a member or a super fan. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, now phone lines are going to be open. All right, sorry. Usually, if I open them up really quick, then no one calls in fast enough, so we're usually good. Yeah, that immigrant doesn't like immigrants. Yes. So I guess he I don't know. I guess he I don't know. I guess he didn't. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm so sorry. I just want to say that last Chinese guy is a fucking idiot. Is a fucking idiot. I'm Chinese too, and he's a fucking idiot. That's it. Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye. All right. Hello, how are you?
Sorry, I had to. Oh, I'm sorry about. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I messed my phone up. I wasn't sure if you could hear me or not. I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
65.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Sure.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just tuned in. I don't know you're discussing any particular subject today.
My subject today is why you still support Trump.
Oh, gee, that's a big one.
It shouldn't
covers
be.
a lot of ground. Yeah, it covers a lot of ground.
It shouldn't be.
Can I ask you a question, which is not about that? Just I just want to find out something real quick. How long have you been doing your show?
How long have I been doing my show?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. Well, next month. Well, on TikTok, it'll have been 2 years next month, actually.
2 years. Okay. I'm just curious because I've started seeing all these podcasts pop up on YouTube lately that I didn't see before.
Well, I've only been on YouTube since May, but I've been on TikTok for 2 years.
Okay. Well, I'm subscribed to you. Well, even though I don't agree with you much of anything, but I did subscribe to you. In fact, that's who I like talking to, people that I don't agree with.
Well, that's great. So why do you still support Trump?
Well, so far, I think he's doing okay. I mean, I had a call in the other day, the lady going on about the tariffs and everything, but I don't see so far that they're causing any particular problems. The prices are holding steady. I think he's using it as a bargaining chip to get a better deal for America. You know, I'm not one of these MAGA people that just says, "Oh, Trump's great," and I believe everything he says and everything he does. I don't agree with everything he does or says. There's never been a politician alive that I'd say that about.
Gotcha. So you're just cool with Donald Trump just completely violating the First Amendment and having no care for it whatsoever?
Okay, explain to me how he's violating the First Amendment.
Yeah, he literally had his FCC chair threaten a private company to take something off the air because he didn't like it.
Well, there's a lot of different sides of that. A lot of people say it was the local affiliates that were upset about it. Like I said, either way, he's back on the air.
He said it publicly.
And also, there could be the problem that he's been losing money for years. His show has.
Sir, I mean, the FCC commissioner said it live on a podcast. What are you talking about?
I saw exactly what he said. I saw the whole thing.
Even if it was for another reason, the FCC commissioner doing that is a violation of the First Amendment.
Well, nothing came of it. He's back on the air.
Oh, okay. So it's okay to violate the First Amendment as long as you get back on the air?
I think violating the First Amendment is when you actually take an action which keeps somebody, that hurts somebody, keeps somebody.
Sure, absolutely. So how about
that? He's on a TV show. I mean, he can speak all he wants.
What about Colbert? Colbert's not back on the air.
No, Colbert's going to be going off the air, but his show's still on though right now.
No, it's off. He got kicked off because Donald Trump didn't want him there.
Wait a minute. I thought he was going to be on until May of next year.
Oh, he got a new show.
Well, the last I've heard, he was going to, like I said, they had decided to cancel the show, but it was going to be like in May of next year.
All right, well, we don't have to just worry about that one. We can work about how a federal judge just ruled that Donald Trump was in violation of the First Amendment for deporting people that were legally here for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Well, there's a lot of different opinions on that too. A visa is not guaranteed or not a gift or it's a privilege.
Okay, how about this? Donald Trump said that he's going to try to put people in jail for burning the flag, which is again a direct violation of the First Amendment.
Don't agree with that at all. I think people that burn this flag, I think it's despicable, but I think they have the right to do it, and I support their right.
Gotcha. How about when he was found by a federal judge to be in violation of the First Amendment for kicking the AP News out of the White House?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if he was, I'm not sure about that one. Like I said, because I don't know what the rules are as far as who gets to come and who doesn't. I mean, they can't let everybody that wants to come in there.
How about when his attorney general said that we're going to make hate speech a crime?
Like what a crime?
Hate speech.
Hate speech. Nothing's going to come of that.
Oh,
no,
gotcha.
I don't have a problem.
You see how I can just go like on and on and on, example after example after example after example of violation of the First Amendment, fact over fact over fact over fact over fact over fact over fact. Like literally, it's just violation, 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 violation. We can just go on and on and on and on and on.
Let me ask you something. Saying he's going to do something about hate speech is not the same thing as actually doing anything. Hate speech, I don't even like that term because to me, the only thing that you can't say is threatening violence. Anything other than that, I think you should be free to say.
So
whether anybody likes it or not.
You think that the President of the United States should be able to make statements about taking away your constitutional rights, and as long as he doesn't follow through or isn't able to follow through, that's okay?
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't have any notes handy, but I can think of a lot of things that Democrats have said that I don't like either, that I don't think they should have said.
Sure, let's talk about anyone that you can name.
Excuse me?
Sure, anyone that you can name. Let's talk about it.
I'm sorry, I don't have it on top of my head. You do this for a profession. Like I said, I've been a student of history and geopolitics since I was about 10 years old. And I know a lot, but also I don't have that information right in front of me. I'm sorry.
Well, sir, if you've been a studier of history and geopolitics for 55 years, I think you would be able to name one thing you didn't like that a Democrat said.
Well, let me think. Well, geez. Well, like I said, I'm 65. My memory's not as good as it used to be. I don't like lots of things they say. I didn't like it when Joe Biden opened the border up and let all the illegal aliens in.
All right, and what policy or executive?
Before you have a bad opinion, and I'll tell you why I have a bad problem with illegal immigration.
Hold on, before you do that, before you tell me why you have a problem with illegal immigration, can you please show me what policy or executive action or legislation that went through the Biden administration that opened up the border?
They just weren't enforcing the law.
They were enforcing the law. They had
millions of people.
They had record deportations during the Biden administration. What are you talking about? Of course, they were enforcing the law.
I've never seen that. I know they had the 3 million when Obama was president, but I've never heard any. How could they have had record deportations? I mean, I saw it I saw the film of it of the people lined up at the border coming across. We saw about all those undocumented children they lost track of.
Sir, if people are lined up at the border. Okay, then that means that
they were when Biden was still president. Yeah,
sir, if they were lined up at the border,
did you not see the film, the crowds of the people there?
Sir.
Yes.
If they were just letting people in, then why was there a line?
Why? What? I'm sorry. If they were letting people in, what?
If they were just letting people in, if they just opened the border and let whoever in, then why was there a line?
Oh, Lord. You're sort of splitting hairs there, I think.
No, I'm not, because literally the fact that there was a line because Border Patrol, sir, the fact that there was a line because Border Patrol was sitting there doing their job and making sure people had legal status and deporting people like the 685,000 people that Biden deported at the southern border just in 2024. And the fact that we had asylum seekers which was an enforcement of the law. And we had friggin' visa seekers and
supposed to go to a port of entry. They're not allowed to.
No, that is not true whatsoever, sir. Most of them did, but that's not true.
I've been hearing that a lot.
You can hear whatever you want, sir. U.S. Code 1158 specifically says that they don't have to do that. But, sir, if all of those things were happening, then that means that they were enforcing the law. And since there was no policy or legislation in which they were not enforcing the law, also the Biden administration doesn't have the power to just not enforce that law. And obviously they were, because you're saying there's a line, then I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, there were large crowds there. Let me put it a different way, gathering in different places to come across. I mean, like we could split hairs about how they were lined up and how they were coming across, but it was happening. I mean, are you going to tell me that all those millions of people that came across weren't real? That it didn't happen?
Yeah, sir. The people that were lined up to come across the border were trying to get into the United States, and they were trying. And
Plenty
if,
got in,
sir, sir,
plenty
sir,
got
sir,
in
hold
without
on,
having the line.
sir,
Okay,
sir.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, they were lined up to try to get in the country legally. Okay, that's why they were at ports of entry. Because people that are trying to get in the country illegally don't go through ports of entry; they go around that. All right.
Yes, and plenty were going around it.
There were plenty that were going around there. There was plenty of people that were going around Border Patrol agents, going over Donald Trump's border wall, that were going in through land, through water, all sorts of things. There was tons of people who were doing that, but that's because they had to sneak around. That wasn't because the Biden administration let them in.
Well, I guess we'll just have to, I mean, I can't agree with you on that. I'd have to look into it more, but all I know is I saw plenty of film of them coming across, and I saw the Border Patrol agents that were talking about it and talking about how they weren't allowed to do their jobs, that they were like taking care of babies and changing diapers and all kinds of things like that. I mean, maybe unless but were those guys lying too? They say in the morale of the Border Patrol
That they weren't able to do their jobs. That doesn't surprise me at all. They were completely overwhelmed, which is why we needed more Border Patrol agents.
Yeah, but definitely more Border Patrol agents. I mean, I don't have anything. I understand why people want to come here, and I sympathize with them. We're $37 trillion in debt. We can't just take everybody in the world that wants to come here.
Those immigrants actually provide more money to our government than they take from us, so they're actually a net benefit. We're not taking care of them. Second of all, Biden tried to add more Border Patrol agents, and the Republicans stopped them. And third of all, none of this has to do with the fact that you still haven't told me a single thing that a Democrat has said that you disagree with.
I right off the top. Well, I mean, there's lots of things they said, but I mean, right off the top of my head, it's hard to pick out a single statement that somebody made. You know, you didn't put me on the. I'm not gonna say you put me on the spot, but I wasn't prepared to talk about something like that or to give you a let me see, something they said that I don't agree with. Of course, now that I need to come up with something, I can't remember it. Like I said, I'm getting a little bit older. My memory's not quite as good as it used to be.
Well, I'll be very clear. I didn't just bring this up. You said that you disagree with it. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
You did. I didn't say that. I just asked you the question about what you asked.
Me or anything. You're right. You asked me a question, but I wasn't prepared to answer, and I admit that.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Democrats say things all the time.
Sir,
Democrats.
I don't have this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sir, Democrats say things I disagree with all the time. People on the left say things I disagree with all the time.
I never hear
all the time.
I guess that's my question. I never hear you criticize. I'm not saying you don't, because I'm not listening every day.
I made a video criticizing Democrats today.
You did? Okay. All right. Well, then I'm wrong.
Yeah. The difference is that when Democrats are wrong, I call them out for being wrong. When Donald Trump is in direct violation of the First Amendment, you defend him.
It's insane.
I'm not defending him. I'm trying to think of a way
you did. I listened to you do it.
Statements, but I mean, I don't see any actions. I don't see him out arresting someone for what they're saying. And yeah, I don't have any problem with him deporting the. I think it's the guy, the Khalil. I can't remember the guy from Columbia or Harvard.
Mahmoud Khalil?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with deporting him. He comes over here and advocates for terrorists. Like I said, and as I understand it, it is legal to deport people for things like that.
Yeah, he wasn't advocating for terrorists. He was literally just protesting and using his First Amendment right. And if you're saying that you agree with him being deported, then you're saying that you don't believe in people's First Amendment rights.
He's not an American citizen.
It doesn't matter if you're an American citizen. All people within the jurisdiction of the United States.
I would debate that with you.
You can debate that with me all you want. The Supreme Court has ruled on it multiple times. It said as long as you are within the jurisdiction of the United States, you have rights under the Constitution.
I know they have rights, but I don't believe they should have the same rights. I don't think a non-citizen should have the exact same rights that Americans do. I think that's could cause us too many problems. Like I said, you know, we'll never agree. I'm a conservative. I've been one pretty much all my life. I'm probably not going to agree with you on most things, but I do enjoy talking to you. Like I said, I find you, as a matter of fact, you're able to, I find it refreshing that you can talk and make these statements without a lot of cursing and vulgarity, which, you know, I'm no saint. I cuss sometimes, but I just don't understand why people can't have political discussions without getting angry at each other.
I actually prefer to curse.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you haven't been, so I haven't been, you know. In fact, like I said, I just think it shows to me, and I'm not criticizing you. You're obviously an intelligent young man. I'm not going to argue. I'm not insulting your intelligence. But I think when people can't have a conversation without cursing, it just, to me, a lot of times it denotes a lack of vocabulary or some default with them. I don't have to explain exactly. It's like, you know, used to politicians 25, 30, 40 years ago. They could have disagreements and disagree on policy and everything, which they didn't start calling each other Nazis and fascists and things like that. I don't understand why.
Because people weren't fascists.
Like that. Well, I don't agree. Number one, I don't even like the term fascist. To me, socialist, communist, fascist, it's all tyranny. To me, I don't see what you label it whatever you want. It's still tyranny.
Communism is literally the opposite of tyranny.
Communism, yeah, communism sounds good in theory, but the only way communism could ever work is if human nature wasn't like it is, because everybody's not the same. Everybody doesn't want the same thing. Communism, that's great. Everybody's equal. Everybody gets the
But sir,
same.
fascism literally is tyranny. That's literally what it is.
But what is communism? You tell me. What communist country has not become tyrannical? You know, they didn't build the Berlin Wall to keep people out. They had to build.
No communist country has ever become tyrannical.
The Soviet Union wasn't tyrannical.
It was never communist.
Oh, that's my point.
It was never communist.
That's my point. People say that. That's my point. Real communism has never been practiced because it's impossible.
Correct.
I'll give you.
Not because it's impossible, just because it's never been practiced.
Well, human nature won't allow it. I'll give you an example. My son had a good friend who he claimed he was an anarchist, you know, but he wasn't really. I mean, I don't know if he knew what he believed. We were riding around one day and we were talking about politics and stuff, and I said, well, how would things work if you could run things? Turtle was his nickname. Can't remember his real name. And I saw a business over. He said, well, if I was running things, that business over there, everybody that works there would have an equal share in it, and they would all share equally in the profits and the work and everything. I said, yeah, how long do you think it would take before about 20, I said there's 100 people working there, how long do you think it would take before probably 20 of the people were doing most of the work and 5 of them were having to make most of the decisions? I said, well, that's the way business generally works. I said, I've been a restaurant manager all my life, and I've had as many as 50 and 60 people working for me at one time. I said, and usually about a hand, maybe if I've got 60, about 20 of them do the majority of the work.
I don't know how you managed to not breathe during that entire time. I thought I talked fast. Holy shit.
You know, it's funny because
Jesus fucking Christ. Jeez, holy shit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was born in the South, and I have people ask me sometimes, say, where are you from?
No, you're fine. I just was like, God damn, you didn't breathe that whole sentence. I was going to cut you off. I was just getting impressed at your ability to hold your breath that long at that point. But I'm going to, hey, sir, no, you're fine. I'm going to move on to the next caller, but I hope you have a wonderful day, all right?
Okay, well, I'll be calling you back if that's okay. My name's,
Sure.
My name's Michael, as a matter of fact.
Nice to meet you, Michael. Have a wonderful day, all right?
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
He would be a great auctioneer. He would be a great auctioneer. Luis, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says Paulie is on fire. Hi to this great community. I just keep learning every time I'm listening in. Your friend from Puerto Rico, Luis. Big W's in chat for Luis for the $10 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next conversation. Somebody said they need a Tylenol after that. Please don't take that. You might end up anti-Amish. We're gonna keep moving on. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats open and all that fun stuff. I like to talk about them in between callers. So if you'd like support, I really appreciate that. And make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, so thank you so much. And turn on those notifications too. If you're on YT, because I just got in trouble for saying the full name on the other app. But make sure you turn on notifications too so you know when I post stuff. Also, thank you so much for this $10 super chat from Zan. Said, I think this guy went to the auctioneer school of debate, talk fast, and throw shit at the wall. I commend you for being able to keep up with that. It's giving me a headache. I had it for a while. I started to lose it to the end. I'm not going to lie. At the end, I was just like, yeah, you, this one's on you, big dog. Like, all right, I don't know. I got over there. Thank you so much, Zan. Big toes in the chat for Luis and for Zan for those $10 super chats. I really appreciate y'all. Take the Tylenol, get the tism. Sorry. Oh, it's something I shouldn't be making fun of. I should not be laughing at it. It's such a ridiculous thing. Thank you so much, Flower Child. I really appreciate that. All right, we're opening up these phone lines. Let's get this thing going. Take the Tylenol, get the tism. It's not funny. That was a funny joke, though. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. How you doing, boy? Polly?
Yep.
I want you all to know that boy Donald Trump, I'm going to always support that boy right there. Say a hut. Good man right there, Donald Trump. Say a hut. Now, let's argue about it.
All right. That wasn't even a very good attempt at the accent, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go. At least the first guy that was an authentic accent. The first guy, that was authentic. Okay, I don't know what that guy was doing, but that first guy actually believed it. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know what that second guy was. I've lived in the South long enough to know the difference. All right. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I am 39.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do still support Trump.
Awesome. What's on your mind today, man?
Well, the main reason I support Trump still is I think he's on the right side of the culture war. His policies might not be the greatest, but I think the culture is more important.
Well, I'm going to tell you something real quick. It's going to blow your whole mind. You ready?
Sure.
The culture war doesn't exist and is a made-up right-wing agenda item in order to make people angry for no reason and to hide their horrific policies.
Okay. Expound about that. I don't think I'm angry about anything.
Well, if after all the things that Donald Trump is doing, you're up here and you said the number one reason that you support Trump is because of a culture war that doesn't exist, okay, then obviously it has galvanized you, all right, to a point that you believe that it exists, and somehow it is taking priority over things like the economy, over foreign affairs, over, you know, our status among the world. Like, apparently this fake culture war has become such a huge problem for you that it is taken priority over. So I don't know if you're angry about it, but you're definitely galvanized by something, and I don't think it exists.
Do you think that politics is downstream of culture or the other way around?
I think politics is downstream of culture. I don't know if I've ever been asked that question before. I guess I'd have to think about that one. I guess first thought is probably, yeah.
Right. So you said, well, it's why I'm still supporting Trump. It's not like I made a drastic switch to Trump because of the culture. So that would be the difference between what I'm saying and what you just expounded upon.
Yeah, I'm asking why you, again, what is the culture war?
The culture war is things that are common sense to most people. He speaks more to that crowd than previous administrations have. For example, the Biden administration. You made a comment about something about like the economy and things like that. I really don't think the economy makes any difference what president we're under. The economy would be the same whether we're under a Democrat or a Republican.
So you think the ability to speak to the room is the culture war? That doesn't even make sense, sir. I'll give you an example, okay? I very much pride myself in this live, all right, about speaking at a level that I think the majority of people, regardless of education, can understand what I'm saying, okay? Because I just speak to my audience and I speak like a real person, right? Does that mean I'm like on the same side of the culture war as Donald Trump?
No, you're misinterpreting what I'm speaking. I'm not being clear enough. I'm not saying that he speaks at a lower education level or something than, for example, like Barack Obama. Clearly he speaks at a lower level. I'm saying that he says things that are more common sense to most people.
Well, the problem with that, sir, is that the things that he says they might sound like more common sense to people, but they're actually just not real.
Can you give an example of that?
Sure. We're going to build the wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. I think, build the wall. Three words. It rolls off the tongue, easy to say. Okay? Rolls off the tongue, boom. Build the wall, build the wall. Mexico's going to pay for it, right? In reality, the problem with our immigration system wasn't the wall, and he had no authority to have Mexico pay for it, right? It wasn't reality, okay? Like, that wasn't going to help anything. Drill, baby, drill, I think is another great example. Drill, baby, drill. If it might sound like common sense to the normal person to go, oh, if we drill more oil, right, gas prices will be better and everything will be better. But the reality of the situation is that gas in the United States and in the world and how it affects inflation and the price of things, right, is a lot more complicated than that. It's really easy to say a 3-word little quip to try to represent something, but if that doesn't actually represent and actually doesn't fix the problem, then it's just saying things that might sound like common sense, but it's just not reality. Does that make sense?
It does, but we're going off of the cultural stuff, and you're talking more about economics. My position on the economics front would be there's no difference no matter what leadership. Your life is not going to be noticeable on the economics front no matter what president is under.
Yeah, sir. Actually, economics do have a huge deal with the president. That's one thing that they actually do have quite a bit of control over. But when I asked you, sir, what the culture war was, you said it's because Donald Trump says things that are common sense to people. Okay. So I'm explaining you how things that might be common sense aren't actually reality. If that's, maybe you need to continue to re-articulate what you mean by what the culture war is.
Yes, sir. There are two sexes. I think that is a winning position for him.
Right, but it's not biologically accurate.
Yes, but that's what the country, regardless, maybe 55%, 60%, whatever percent agrees with. It's definitely the majority in the country. It's not a minority position. He takes majority positions on things.
Sure, you can have a majority or minority position on things. It doesn't make it accurate. There are more than two sexes. Biologically, there are more than two sexes. Okay? You have intersex individuals. You have people born with multiple sets of genitalia from both sexes. You have people born with no genitalia. And you have very much variations within chromosomes to be like XYX, XYY chromosomes, right? XXY, XXX chromosomes, right? So as far as biologically, having two sexes is just not biologically accurate. If the majority of people like that, that's fine. It's still a lie.
You're really taking the position that there's more than two sexes, or are we talking about gender?
No, sexes. We can talk about genders. There's way more genders, but sexes alone, biologically, there are more than two. It's a spectrum, just like most things are in the universe.
I'd like to. I haven't seen any. The literature I've read is maintained by biologists is probably two sexes still. I don't see.
Have
much.
You never met an intersex person?
That doesn't mean there's not two sexes still. I can say I have 5 fingers, and I have 5 fingers in my left hand, and I can say people have 5 fingers in their left hands. I'm sure there's somebody with 6 fingers out there too.
Yeah, awesome. So what sex is somebody that is born with both sets, both male and female genitalia? What sex are they?
I don't think there's anybody that can be born with both functioning sets of genitalia. Am I correct?
You could be born with neither set of genitalia functioning. Then what gender are they?
Yes, but they're still going to be classified a male or a female.
No, they'll be assigned a gender at birth. But we're not talking about gender. We're talking about sex. That is something that the doctor will assign once they're born. You're saying that there's only two, male or female, right? And I'm asking you, if you're born with both, okay, and neither are functioning, what gender are you?
Male or female is sex, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you have to be male or female, though, right? Like nobody.
Then I'm asking you a simple question, sir. If somebody's born with both female and male genitalia, neither of them work. What one are they? Are they male or female?
If we'll just default to whatever they're assigned by the professionals at birth, then.
No, sir, because we're talking biologically, right? Because once we go into assigning, now we're having somebody put a label onto someone. We're talking about from chromosomes, from genitalia, from physical stuff, right? You're saying that biologically, there are two. Okay? There is male and there is female. I am asking you a question about which one this is assigned, because now you're just putting somebody else in there. One doctor could say that they're male, doctor could say that they're female, one could say they're both, one could say they're neither. Then it gets into subjectivity, and then it's not biological anymore. So I'm asking you which one they are.
If they're born with both male and female genitalia?
Correct, and neither of them are functionable.
I don't know. I don't know the science behind that exact situation. I'm sure it's a
Yeah.
very low percentage, though. Am I correct?
Sorry, if it's one person, it doesn't matter. Okay. Because then
I agree.
it
Okay.
automatically disproves that there's two sexes. Okay. Because in order for it to be only
Okay.
two sexes, okay, everybody has to fit into one of two boxes, right? The entire system is therefore binary. Therefore, nobody outside of that binary system can exist. Okay. But again, we see variations of people in the world, okay, that have like XYX chromosomes, all right, and are born with female genitalia and also born with male genitalia. We have people biologically with chromosomes that don't match what the traditional, XX or XY chromosomes do with their actual physical attributes. All right. Biologically, your stance isn't correct, and that's what I'm trying to get to, sir. I know I'm throwing out things that are a little bit more deep into science when it comes to biology and stuff like that, and that's fine. Okay, I did that intentionally because you're making something that's not binary. All right, instead of just allowing it to be what it is.
Can you give me an example of something that you think is binary then?
Something that I think is binary?
Correct.
Computer code.
So zeros and ones. You can only use zeros and ones.
Yep, that would be binary.
Okay. Something more natural in the world, I guess.
Something more natural in the world. Almost nothing in the world is binary.
Like I was thinking, could you be left-handed or right-handed? You have to be one of them, but I guess you could be ambidextrous.
Yep.
But there, you would I would always think that you would lean more one or the other. I doubt there's anybody with exactly equal use of like something like both hands to
there are.
the same ability.
There are
ambidextrous, I'm saying, but you will lean one way or the other.
No, there are people that are even, right? There are people that even. There's people that are right-handed that have better use of their left hand than other people that are also right-handed, right? Because again, it's all on a spectrum, right? Left-handed and right-handedness is not a binary thing. It's a spectrum, right? Like me, right? Like I can't do shit with my left hand. Okay, I'm dumb as hell. I might as well cut this whole damn thing off. All right. Where other people might be right-handed, but they have pretty good use of their left hand and they can do a whole bunch of stuff with it, right? It's on a spectrum.
So
almost everything in nature is on a spectrum.
In your worldview, then almost everything would be on a spectrum. So, for example, let's say somebody was 75% black and 25% white. They're not really black in your worldview. Then they're part black.
Incorrect, because that's not a natural thing. You said things in nature, and black is a made-up social construct.
Okay, let's get rid of black then. Let's use you
can't be 75% black. You are either black or you're not.
Does that only apply for black, or does that apply for something like Hans and Mongols or something like that?
Mongols would be an ethnicity, not a race.
Correct. That's why I was making the distinction between with Hans and Mongols. Hans,
but those are ethnicities. There's multiple different ethnicities, right? Black isn't an ethnicity. I don't know where the country of black is.
Gotcha. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look into a little bit more. I didn't think that it was debated that there were multiple sexes, at least more than two. You've given me something to think about.
Yeah. And so again, the only reason that I was making this point, and I'm not trying to berate you or anything like that, okay, is when Donald Trump, you're saying people believe in this stance. Yes, because it's a lot easier, okay, because the majority of people that we see, just hanging around, right, are just, you consider them either male or female. And you look at that and they go, oh, it's a binary system. When the actual biologically, it's not a binary system. So when Donald Trump gets up there and says it, yeah, that sounds good. But the correct answer, the actual real answer, is a lot more complicated than that. And that's what I was trying to show you, okay? Is that sometimes when people come out and they say the simplest answer is not always the most correct answer, right? It's just the simplest.
I have one more follow-up to this, and I'll finish it off. I guess the reason why I think in my head there's only two is because in order for reproduction to occur, which is I guess the reason why there's even sexes to begin with, you do agree that reproduction only occurs between male and females, correct?
But cared between, yes, for the most part, but gender, but sex doesn't have anything to do with reproduction, because you would consider someone born a female if she was born without, female reproductive organs, right? Like if her organs didn't
No, I'm
work.
talking about just to create for the human species, I believe.
Right, but
Obviously
again, those are two different
other-
things. But I mean, obviously, you can make it without male and female, right? Like you can make it in a lab, you can do it with donors, you can do all that, all sorts of stuff like that, right? But if somebody was a female and couldn't reproduce, is she still a female?
Well, female. Yes, I would still consider. But I never
Right.
made the
So-
claim about
well-
that they had to reproduce.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. The ability to reproduce is not contingent on sex. Or sex isn't contingent on the ability to reproduce.
So, in the human species, can a female is there a possibility of reproduction between a female and a non-male? Does that ever happen in the human species?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely. Have a good one.
You too, man.
I think we're going to get there really soon, though. If you want me to be completely honest. I think we'll be there really soon. Yeah, seahorses have entered the chat. Yeah, I saw that. Do you know how long it's been since I've been in a biology class having to explain that? Anyways, Velvet, thoughts on Matt Walsh? I think I've heard of that guy. He's a Mother Mary. That's funny. Just Jesus. I'm gonna use that next time. Sorry, that was too funny. He's a left-wing dude, right? I think. I don't know. Anyways, don't really have any big thoughts on him. I really don't watch as many people as you think I do. Shay, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Oh, is he a right-wing dude? I really don't know who these people are. Okay, I really don't know. That is super cool, Shay. Thank you so much for that sticker. Lovely goddess, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said Trump did say smart people don't like me. 100%. He was right on that. He's a far right supremacist. I don't know. Zan, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said apparently redheads don't exist because they're only 1% of the world's population. Well, of course, yeah. If it's only a small percentage, then they don't matter. Okay. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Give me a big W to chat for Zan, for Lovely Goddess, for Velvet, and for Shay for the super chats. Keeping this live going. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And Dawn for all the jewels. I keep seeing those pop in. I don't want to disregard those. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Dawn. We're gonna move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. Sorry, y'all. I really don't be watching these people. Y'all be thinking that I watch like left, right people, right people. I don't watch any of these people, man. All right, phone lines back in. Jack Frost says, if a man shoots blanks, is he truly a man? I mean, just to let you know, I've had a vasectomy. I'm shooting blanks, bro. So I guess I'm not one either. I don't know what to tell you. Hello, how are you? Hello? I guess not. I don't know. I guess I'm not. Yeah, let's get to 100,000 likes. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I just had a quick comment on the whole anything.
On the whole what?
The whole stock market thing.
The what?
Can you hear me?
Barely. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Can you hear me better now?
I guess. What's your comment on?
So you were talking about Intel earlier. You said it was higher under Biden, lower under Trump. That was wrong. You can just look at the 5-year chart right now, and it's that easy to see.
I said it was higher under Biden than Donald Trump's first term.
Right. And if you look at it, that's incorrect.
Okay, cool.
Look all the way 2016 into 2020, it was nearly all-time highs, and then end of 2020 into 2021, and then back to the end of like 2023-ish.
Dude, I don't even remember this conversation, to be completely honest with you. What's your point?
Well, I do, and I just called to say that you were wrong.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Cool. Bye. I didn't know what he was talking about. I don't know. We're going to move on to the next caller. I don't know what's going on. Hello, how are you?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
Actually, hold on real quick. I have to put this up for that last caller who ran away. Yeah, he was completely wrong on Intel stock price. I can pull it up right now and put it on the screen. This is 2017 when Donald Trump was in office. Low, it went up in 2018. 2019 stayed pretty steady, went up in like 2020. And then Biden took office and it went up and skyrocketed, actually at its highest at 59.6293. Yeah. And then it capped out right over here at the end of it at like 45. And even right now, Intel's only at 33.50. So no, it was higher under Biden's term in 2021 than it was in Donald Trump's first term, and also higher than it is now. So you were wrong. Crazy to be wrong about something like that. It was such an easy thing to pull up. Imagine calling in just to be so wrong. Anyways, let's open up these phone lines. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Like, bro, like we can just pull up the, I just pull up the data. Not that hard. We can just pull up the data, man. Jack Frost, thank you so much. I know you were joking. I know you were joking. It doesn't bother me. Thanks a lot for the $2. Hello, how are you?
Hey, you piece of fucking fat fuck.
All right, man. Anything else you gotta say?
Yeah, you're fucking retarded and don't know everything that's right, you fucking retard.
You're right. I don't know everything. That would be weird. Oh, where'd you go? Hello, how are you?
Hey, Polly, I'm good.
Hi, AI. How are you?
It's not AI.
I know you're AI. I'm positive of it.
Okay, well, AI.
It's actually good for me when I actually like if I can debate AI and win, then I'm doing pretty good. So that's pretty. That's pretty
Lord. I don't know if I can live up to AI, but I definitely have some opinions on. So as you know, I do still support Trump, and
yeah, still trying to figure that one out. But go ahead.
I know. Okay, so I know you were talking to the last guy about the X and the Y and having, you can have an XXY, or those are all genetic defects. Those are not necessarily sexes, and those come from when like your gametes, when they split, and during when you finally do have your gametes, they join, they split, and they do a bunch of other things. They break. Oh my gosh, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Baby, it's bedtime. You got a potty? Okay, real quick. Sorry, I got a baby who doesn't want to go to bed. But, so that's actually just a genetic defect. It's not really like a sex per se. It happens, but it's not supposed to.
What is a defect?
Genetically, a defect is something that falls short of what it's actually supposed to be. Now,
no, see, that wouldn't be considered a defect. Okay, it'd be considered an abnormality, which is true. It's an abnormality. Okay, and that's very, very true, right? Because it doesn't happen It doesn't happen all the time, right?
Normally. It doesn't happen normally.
Correct. It doesn't happen the
So,
average amount of time. But again, like saying that would say that like
but
someone
a
brought up very easily.
successful splitting would result in XX or XY. So
Right.
that's why I said falls short of what it's supposed to. So sure, it happens, not normally. So yes, it is abnormal, but it is still a defect.
No. Yeah, I wasn't
Like that's
talking
like
about
saying,
them not splitting XXXY. All those those things I gave, they are still splitting XX or XY. They're just splitting XYX. It's a furtherance of the chromosome, right? It's not just stopping at a binary chromosome and moving it on into all of the different variations in which those
but see,
chromosomes
okay, so when
can be
you
developed
get
into.
you get four eggs, okay, before that join with the other. So you can sometimes get an X, or you can get an XX, and that's how you end up with XY or XX. So you get one from the mom, one from the dad. Dad's always going to give he's going to give the sex chromosome, the X or the Y, but the mom is what gives the XX or the X. So you get four. Now, they don't continue to split afterwards. So you might get one that has none.
What's
You
your
might
point
get
in
one
this?
that has
Just out of
two.
curiosity.
I just heard you say it, and I knew it wasn't right.
Well, it
And
is
so I was
right.
like,
You're
hold
just
on,
you're just saying it happens rarely, and I didn't make an argument that it didn't happen rarely. Okay, but regardless
But
of
you were
any
saying
of
it was
that,
a
what does that
sex.
have to do with you supporting Trump? Do you not support Trump because you don't like
Okay, so
abnormalities?
no, that's not it. But okay, so I know you were saying like, what's a policy that Trump has that you do support, and then that is the transitioning of minors. And
What do you mean
I
his
don't think
policy
any
on the
child,
transitioning of minor?
yes, stopping gender affirming care for children under the age of 18.
And what do you mean
I
by
think
gender
that is
affirming
a
care?
perfect. So hormones, giving or puberty blockers to children. I don't think that is something that is acceptable because children can't make rational decisions for themselves.
Well, first of all, we give puberty blockers to children for a huge range of medical issues. Okay, that have nothing to do with being them trans. Okay, and second of all, puberty blockers are almost always, and at a very, very incredibly high rate, like 99%, are reversible. So that's the whole reason behind them, is that if it is a decision that is not correct, they can undo it and nothing changes. So I don't see what your problem is with that.
But puberty blockers are not necessarily reversible in the manner that you're saying, oh, well, you can stop puberty blockers and your puberty will resume. That's not true.
And not every time you take
And there are
Tylenol
many-
doesn't mean that you won't end up dead from it.
Okay, I don't see how those two things equate to each other.
Because you're taking the very, very, very tiny, itsy bitsy little tiny percentage of ones that are not reversible, and you're using that across the entire thing, across the entire spectrum to make your argument. Because if by that argument, then we should never give anyone Tylenol or ibuprofen or actually any type of medication that's ever existed ever, because all of them have a small percentage of chance that they're going to hurt someone or that they're going to have adverse effects.
Right, they have pros and cons. Okay, and you have to weigh the medical risk.
Yeah, and we see the
for
medical risk
children-
is that when children who are trans are not given puberty blockers and not given gender affirming care, then the multiplier of how many they the rate of suicide is multipliers higher.
Oh, okay. And so I can see that's alarming to hear. It's like, okay, well, if we don't give them this gender affirming care, they're going to kill themselves, which is obviously something that we do not want. But if a child was anorexic, you wouldn't tell them, you know what, you are fat, so you probably should stop eating. Okay? We wouldn't continue to allow this mental illness to consume their life. We would help them. And let me just say,
hold on.
You can,
where in the
you feel
DSM-5
about,
is this as far as a mental illness?
okay, so I believe it was taken out.
Yeah.
Like gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
It
You can
was.
have gender dysphoria and not be trans, and you can also be trans and not have gender dysphoria.
Yeah, okay. So, but let me go back to, I hear what you're saying right there. Let me go back to why I don't think children should be given gender affirming care. Because I just feel like like, have you met, you said you have a 14-year-old. So if your 14-year-old said to you, you know what, Dad, I'm ready for my first tattoo. This is the tattoo I want to have on my body for the rest of my life. I'm 100% sure this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you just say, you know what? Absolutely, go ahead. I
No,
know that you know
I would
yourself.
not. Well,
and you're
one, because that's against the law.
Because their body
And
is going to
second
be
of all,
altered.
no, their body is going to be permanently altered. Okay.
What about people? Okay. So
And I
they
just
were
made it
giving
very clear that
double
puberty blockers are not
mastectomies
permanent.
to girls.
What?
They were giving double mastectomies to girls, to young girls.
What the fuck does that have to do with
their
anything?
breast, and for what? What?
No, hold on. That's not happening in any state in the United States under the age of 17.
Actually, okay. So
Actually,
I think
it's
her name
not.
is Chloe Cole. Chloe Cole, I believe, got hers at 16. She's a really, really famous detransitioner, and she got hers at 16.
Okay, awesome.
And I might have to.
So let me get this straight. You're picking out one person who detransitioned, even though our statistics show that the overwhelming majority of people that actually do transition are very, very happy with their transition. Like incredibly high, like well over 90%.
Well, the thing is that I believe that those stats are being underreported because it looks bad on the trans community, for one, for detransitioners to come out. Like Buck Angel, I know that he's a really prominent trans man, and he's happy, but if he could go back, he would do it differently. And okay, so I don't want to nitpick here.
Ma'am,
I don't want to say
almost
this
40
person,
years old. There's so
many.
many things I would have done differently.
Well,
there are so many things I would have done differently in my life if I could go back and redo it all over again. Just because I would have done things differently doesn't mean that every decision I made was bad or wrong at the time, or that freaking I hate myself because of it, or that I would want to even go back. I would have made a whole bunch of different choices, okay? But at the end of the day, what we see is overwhelmingly, puberty blockers are reversible. Overwhelmingly, when you are able to stop puberty, hold on. Overwhelmingly, puberty blockers are reversible. And again, I mean well into the 90%. They are reversible. Second of all, we do understand that when people, when trans kids are given puberty blockers, okay, and allowed not to go through all the natural processes, especially when it comes to, like trans girls and stuff like that they don't develop hair, they don't develop, a deeper voice and stuff like that it makes their transition easier in life. All right, which is reduces the chance of teen suicide, within trans kids, which again is very high. And the reason why trans suicide is so high between trans teens is because they are being forced into being who they are not, because they are saying, "Hey, I do not belong in this body. I do not fit with this gender norm that you're telling me," and then they are forced into that by again things like that, and making kids go through puberty when there's no reason for them to have to go through puberty. Okay. And then their suicide rate is higher. So I don't, and I don't mean like, oh, it's a little bit higher. I mean 4, 5, 6 times higher.
So I'm going to push back on that just a little bit. Ideation and actual, because kids are very angsty, and a lot of the kids who, I can't speak to all kids, but the ideation saying, well, I want to do this because I'm not getting the gender affirming care that I want.
No, these aren't ideations, ma'am. These are children who are right now dead.
Okay, what I'm going to actually need to pull some stats because is not accurate to what I've seen.
You should pull some
stats. What you're saying is accurate to what I've
seen. They cannot be accurate to what you're seeing whatsoever. That does not change anything whatsoever, to be completely honest with you. And the fact of the matter is,
well, then tell me where you're finding your information so we can.
The American Psychological Institute. There's a ton of different studies that have gone into this.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a ton of different studies that have gone into this. When really it all comes down to something that is really quite sad, which is just you involving yourself in the families and the lives of people that aren't you, and you have no skin in the game whatsoever. You have kids who are trying to get medical help. You have parents who are trying to get their kids medical help, and you're stopping it for some reason.
But see, the thing is that I think that what they need is not gender affirming care, is maybe more understanding as to why they feel the way that they do, and getting them help, and why they're so uncomfortable in their own bodies.
Well, you know what? I think
Because-
you did a
and
bad
then
job
this-
of raising your kids too.
Who said that?
Oh, I just did. And since you're telling other parents what they should do with their children, especially when doctors and them are making decisions on their children, okay? And if you think you have the right to go in and tell other people how they're not doing the right things for their children and they shouldn't be listening to the medical advice of the doctors that they take their children to, then I'm just going to tell you how you're a shitty parent also. Since you want to, I guess I can get involved in yours if you want to get involved in everyone else's.
Well, the thing is that I'm not saying they're shitty parents, but I think they're misguided. And I think that as a parent, the first thing you should teach your child is to love themselves for who they are.
What makes you think
And
those
if you
kids don't
see
love
that
themselves for who they are?
Because they don't want to be themselves.
Ma'am, did your kid ever want to wear makeup?
No.
Did you ever have a daughter want to wear makeup? Never. Do you wear makeup?
I don't have a daughter, so I don't have a daughter who.
Do you wear makeup?
I can't attest to that. I do wear makeup.
Well, you should just love yourself for who you are and stop trying to change yourself.
And it's okay to enhance who you are with makeup. And I'm not saying men can't wear makeup.
Do you think we should outlaw like breast augmentation?
Absolutely not.
Why not? Those people, they should just love themselves for who they are. Why should we allow them? Why should we allow them to have surgery that makes them feel more comfortable in their bodies? That would be. I think they just need to be told, you should love yourself for who you are, regardless of how of what your body is. We should outlaw tummy tucks. We should outlaw hair implantation surgeries. We should completely get rid of nail salons. Those should be illegal immediately.
What does that have to do with
tanning
children
beds,
getting
tanning salons?
gender-affirming
Oh my
care?
God, God would have made you that tan if He wanted you that way.
Well, He gave us the ability to tan, but that's I feel like you're trying to do like a gotcha. But
It's not a
that's what
gotcha,
I'm trying
ma'am.
to do here.
You're trying to tell other people what they need to do or what they need to do with their children in order for their children to live happy, healthy
puberty blockers
lives.
are not
You're
reversible.
Ma'am, they are reversible. This is a simple Google search, okay, to see if they're reversible.
Okay, Google it, because I'm telling you, they are not reversible.
Easy.
They do irreparable damage that doesn't have to be done. And then when children come of age, when they're no longer children and they've gone through all the steps and they've gotten the help that they need, and if they really are so set in getting this and that done, well, now they're adults.
Super Sarah, Mayo Clinic right here.
Make these decisions.
GnRH, those are puberty blockers. Analogs don't cause permanent physical changes. Instead, they pause puberty. That offers a chance to explore gender identity, also gives youth and their families time to plan for the psychological, medical, developmental, social, and legal issues that may lie ahead. When a person stops GnRH and analogs, I think that's analogs, puberty starts again. And this is from the Mayo Clinic. Sorry, do I need to zoom in on that paragraph? I don't know if everybody can see that well enough. Cool. There it is.
I'll give you, that's one source. Is Mayo Clinic, is that a .gov or is that a .org or is that a .com?
That would be a .org, and Mayo Clinic is known worldwide as a leading freaking medical research organization.
Well, most of the studies that I get online are from actual databases, not from websites.
What do you mean from
And
actual
I usually-
databases?
Yes.
What database?
Peer-reviewed research. Hold on, let me pull up my schools.
Yeah, I would love for you to pull up a peer-reviewed research on puberty blockers not being reversible. That would be great.
Okay. Either way, I'm not telling parents how they have to take care of their kids.
Yes, you are.
All I'm saying is don't. Okay, and I am.
You are.
all that I want to say, okay, then I am. But if it's not clear that what I want to say is that I feel and I know that by giving them these puberty blockers and stopping their puberty, it might give them discomfort now, but with love and reassurance, they can come through this. They can.
Yeah, ma'am.
And
You, for
it's
some
not
reason, are
robbing them of the
confused.
opportunity.
No, you are robbing them of many opportunities. You think that
But you're
trans
not.
that trans kids don't love themselves. You think they just need a good little pat on the butt, and then all of a sudden, this thing that you felt that your entire life, and you will feel for your entire life, will just go away. Okay, you literally what you're describing generally is like a pray the gay away camp for trans kids. Okay, and that shit doesn't work. Okay, that's not reality. Because if a kid is gay, they are gay. There's no type of pray the gay away camp or hugs or church or family intervention that is going to change that. And if a kid is trans, he's going to be trans or she's going to be trans, no matter how many hugs and kisses or affirmation that you give them. Okay, what you're doing is you're hurting them. Okay, you are hurting them by you are hurting them by stopping their transition. And again, nothing's permanent during that age, right? Nothing at any type of younger age is permanent. If you're right, then the puberty blockers get taken away. Puberty starts as normal, and then there's no effect, right? If you're wrong, you are forcing kids to go through a horrible transition of their body further and further away from what matches their actual inside self, right? Which is detrimental to their psyche and also increases the suicide rate. All right. So, and that's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, unless you're just saying you're for child suicide, I don't understand why you would even be saying this.
I'm not for child suicide, but what I'm saying is that there are other avenues that they could feel like if they feel like, well, I don't really fit in here, and if I'm a girl and I like girls, well, then maybe I should be a boy. And then it's like, well, maybe that's not the case. Maybe you can still be a girl, and maybe you're a girl.
Girls that like girls are lesbians. They're not trans.
I know, but see, when you're dealing with a child, they don't know who they are yet.
Sir, you think they don't talk to them?
Sir, they have to have the opportunity to grow
up. Do you think these kids are going like, hey, I don't feel like I belong in my body, and they're like, you know what? We're not going to talk to you about this at all. We're not going to find out what you're actually feeling. We're not going to send you to years of therapy to actually get to the bottom of this. We're just going to go, let's fucking give you puberty blockers and fucking transition you right now.
But that was going on.
That's never gone on. That's never gone on. Ever, anywhere, ever. That has never gone on anywhere fucking ever. Okay?
That's not true.
You don't know anything that is going on in this situation. Like nothing. You know nothing about this entire thing. And you should really stop having opinions on it.
Because I have a different opinion?
No, because you don't have any opinion. You are just making up your opinion out of false shit that's never happened. You're making up scenarios and fucking databases in your head that have nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
This is not reality.
And because I have a difference of opinion.
This is not a difference of opinion, ma'am. This is not a difference of opinion. An opinion is whether you like strawberry or chocolate ice cream. We can both like different ones, and that's totally okay because that is opinion. Whether children are fucking dying because the shit you're saying is a fucking fact.
Not dying.
They are dying, and people like you are causing it. Their blood is on your fucking hands.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. And also, get the fuck off my phone. Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck off, dude. Maybe a girl likes a girl, so therefore they think they're trans. What kind of fucking crazy, fucking psycho fucking shit is going through people's heads? Holy fuck, dude. Goodness gracious. Sorry. Starting to get on my fucking nerves. I try to keep people off my nerves. She's about to get on my fucking nerves. Let's have a few super chats. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. And we'll move on to the next caller. Wake Up Sleep said, love the show, Paulie. The one time I disagree, I believe a person can have a mixture of two sexes. If someone is black and white, there is still only two races. For example, It could be wrong though. I guess. Is that like a binary argument towards race? I guess we've created a binary thing towards race. My only argument was that that's not natural. And that's what the question was is that natural? Race isn't natural. Lovely Goddess says, calling in just to say slurs and hanging up afterwards is cowardice and boring. Be more creative. Thank you for that so much. Wake up sleep. I apologize. Yeah, I know, right? Like, at least be a better troll. Thank you so much, Lovely Goddess. I appreciate the $5. Stacey said, kids with precocious puberty need puberty blockers 100%. There's actually a few different medical conditions where kids need puberty blockers, and actually the worst part about that is that kids that actually need puberty blockers are now not going to be able to get them because people like her are just over here fucking, making up shit, making up studies or something that they saw on X or some shit. Thank you so much for that, Stacy. DR says, another Karen MAGA brain cult member inserting herself into other people's business. You didn't know what is right for other people and their family. Mind your own damn business and try raising your own motherfucking kids. Sorry, I may have added a few words to DR super chat. I may have added a few words in there, but I felt it. You know what I'm saying? I felt it. I'm sure he didn't say that in there, but I felt it. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Thank you so much, DR. And Stacy, thank you so much for the $5. Says, my cousin had precocious puberty and had to be put on puberty blockers. He went off them and he is normal adult man now. Mind your own motherfucking business. Sorry, had to get that off my chest again. Thank you, Stacy. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mocha, thank you so much for the 1,000 jewels. I actually think I've seen that a few times. Thank you so much for the 1,000 jewels, like a few times in there. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mocha. And the 100 jewels there too. I saw those too. Thank you so much. All right, y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have super chats open and all that good stuff. I did see a new super fan too. I really appreciate that. I've been wanting to do another giveaway for my super fans and members. Nora, thank you so much for becoming a super fan. I've been wanting to do one. You know what I'm saying? I've been wanting to do one lately, but I just haven't been able to. So I'll try to do one soon. The whole thing of the subscribers on TikTok thing kind of screwed up everything, but I need to do another giveaway very, very soon. So I'll do that. So make sure if you guys want to become a member or subscriber, we will be doing one very soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. We'll see. Hello, how are you?
Oh, okay. I did not think I would get on the phone line. Hello?
It's crazy how you called the phone line.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hello. So the question is, why do you still support Trump? It's a good question.
That is a good question. I agree.
So I just joined stream. This is my first time calling. About the last lady, no, she was a little crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to troll. I just drank a whole thing of Frost caffeine, so probably not a good idea at 8:54. All right.
Cool, bro.
Okay. I'm sorry. I see someone in chat saying get to it.
I agree with chat.
So, okay. So why do I still support Trump? Well, I kind of half support him, but he freaking won, and well, what are we gonna do about it?
Resist, stand up for our rights, make sure we vote in the midterms.
Yeah, I think personally, I think the midterms are going to stay relatively the same. I mean, we have to see his results on his actual policies.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and frankly, I think all the designation of Antifa being a terrorist organization is fine because well, look at the destruction they've caused.
Yeah, so let's go into that. First of all, the President of the United States doesn't have any legal authority to designate any group in the United States a terrorist organization. Okay? Only foreign groups can be designated as terrorist organizations. Second of all,
So there's no such thing as a domestic entity?
there is such thing as domestic terrorism. There is not so much such thing where the executive can declare a domestic group a terrorist organization. Okay. Second of all, can you please tell me who the leader of Antifa? Hold on.
What would you say?
No, I'm not answering anything. I'm still trying to finish my sentence. Thank you. Second of all, can you please tell me who the leader of Antifa is?
I don't know who the leader of Antifa is. There is one leader in Oregon, though, since Seattle is the primary hub of it, or at least Portland, not Seattle.
Yeah. When are their meetings? I'm just curious.
I'm not on their schedule. I don't know.
Neither am I. I was just trying to figure out when, like, where can I find their? Do they have a website where?
Does every single organization tell you exactly when they're meeting up? Does every?
I mean, do they have a website where I can like join or something?
No, not every group has a website. A lot run off of Telegram.
Okay, so I can go on. I can get on Telegram. That's how I can find out where the leaders are and where the meetings are.
It's usually just through private networks. They don't publicize.
Sir, Antifa isn't an organization.
Nobody does that. Not even,
Antifa isn't an organization.
So it's not an organization.
Correct. It's not an organization. So you can't make it a domestic terrorist group because it's not a group.
The concept of anti-fascism, but it is an organization.
It is not an organization. Organizations have structure. Okay.
Organizations, it does have structure. It's just a part of the overall protest.
That's not even English. Are you sure I'm sure it was caffeine that you drank?
Okay, so what if I
Antifa is a movement. It's an ideology. It's not a group. It's not an organization.
Okay, well, yeah, there's a separation between the idea of anti-fascism. That general idea is the actual concept. However, the group Antifa, who has a name and has a banner, are an organization.
Okay, sir. Again, in order for it to be an organization, it would have to have a structure with leadership. Okay?
And they do have leadership.
They do not.
I would have to know that.
They do not.
They do have leadership.
They do not.
I don't know the exact name, but there is a name.
So there is no exact name because they don't have it.
I just don't know it at the moment.
Sir, you can't know it because it does not fucking exist. You cannot remember something that doesn't exist. Okay?
Look, man.
Look,
that this human, living, breathing human being does not exist.
Yeah, I can't remember Jessica Alba's phone number because she never gave it to me. Okay? So you're right. I can't remember it because I've never seen it.
The leader of freaking Antifa is Cobson Talks. We all freaking know this. I mean, he's in chat. He's just saying all this bullshit. Like, come on, man. He's got to be here right now.
Sir, it does not exist. I don't know how to make this why am I even talking to you? This is a ridiculous conversation.
I don't know, dude. Oh, look, it's a genuine argument.
It's not a genuine argument. You're literally making an argument of the exact. How about this? You just tell me, just tell me where I can go sign up for Antifa online at their organizational page. Maybe find out who their leader is. Like I'll give you an example. I had one of the leaders of the Satanic Temple on here. Okay, that is actually an organization. Like the Satanic Temple is an organization. I had one of their leaders up here. I can see their hierarchy. I can know what they stand for. I can do all of those things. Okay, because they're an organization. Hail Satan. All right. All right. They're not an organization, so you can't make them a domestic terrorist group because they're not a group.
About everything. Just because you don't know the exact structure of every little person in the system?
No, I don't need the structure. Sir, I don't need to know the exact structure. I need to know that there is a structure, and there's not one.
And there is a structure, but...
All right, what's the structure?
Okay, let me look this up real quick. Let's see the structure.
All right, you go ahead.
Caller is high. No, I'm a little too...
Is that what Google told you?
No, I'm just looking in chat. I just seeing funny.
I think this guy just Googled is caller high and it shot back, yes, caller is high. I'm pretty sure that's what it just That's what it just did.
How could I do that?
Valerie, thank
Who
you so much
is
for the
Antifa?
$7 on PayPal. I really appreciate that. Said you are a star, Polly. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate that. Yo, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that
Valerie, you're a
subscribe button
fucking
if you haven't
gem.
already.
You're awesome.
All right. Well, this is getting boring. All right, I'm just gonna get you off the phone. Maybe you should, like, I don't know, go figure out something. I don't know. Just go. I just go. You should just go. Okay. This is a ridiculous car. I don't even know what to say here. Your least favorite YouTube channel says, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, don't unisex genes have the same male and female genetics, or are they unique past XY? They do have the same pretty much genetics. Yeah, it's just the way it's passed, as far as I remember correctly. Again, it's been a while since I have sat in a sat in a biology classroom. That was just basic. Antifa just remodeled their headquarters. Oh, that's nice. I'd love to see pictures. Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm calling. Well, I might be a little dumb, but you said
You
race
cannot
isn't natural.
possibly
What did
be
what
dumber
did
than
you
the
mean
last
by
caller. So that's good.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said you can't be dumber than the last caller, so you're at a really low bar.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you said that race wasn't natural. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, race is a social construct.
Well, I'm not talking. Are you talking about race like genetically speaking or socially speaking?
Race isn't genetically speaking. There is no genetic race.
Okay. Well,
You can't look into
yes
someone's
and no.
No, you can't look into someone's genes and go, yes, they're black.
Well, you can look at their genes based on location and determine what they
Right.
are.
Where
based
is
on.
black?
Sorry, I can't hear you. What did you say?
Where is black?
Well, darker people are generally found closer to the equator, as in Africa, Ecuador, Mexico.
Those would be ethnicities.
But well, I'm just giving you a point of where the location is for those darker skin tones.
Gotcha. So you seem. Have you ever left the country?
I have.
Okay. Have you ever left North America? Let me put it that way.
I have.
Okay. Where have you been?
I've been to South Africa. I've been to not Israel, Istanbul. I've been to Georgia, not Georgia, America.
You
but
don't
Georgia,
have to
Georgia.
specify that. I understood. Yeah. So when I go to Europe, right? Which I used to live in Europe, right? In Europe, I'm not black or white. Right?
Correct.
I'm American. Right?
Correct.
And they do get like super xenophobic over there, right? Especially when I lived in Italy. They like hated immigrants, all right? But what they hated was Africans. Okay? It wasn't the concept of someone being black, it was a hatred based off of ethnicity. Okay? In this country,
So
we have created the concept of black and white, right? And we did that in order to create, well, not we did that. Ancestors in the United States did that in order to develop a hierarchy of white versus black, right? Like they wanted to put one above the other, right? So, like, I'll give you an example, right? Kamala Harris is black. All right. People made like this whole thing about her being like, oh, her mom was Indian. Yeah, because her ethnicity has nothing to do with whether you're considered black. It is a set of it's a set of physical traits that have been identified as a race within this country. All right. And her skin tone, mixed with, her features identify her as black in this country. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like, I was just confused because I thought you were saying skin tone and race were not the same thing.
Skin tone relates to race.
Well, yes, that's what I was trying to explain. But I thought you meant that regardless of skin tone, your race is not based on your skin tone. If you can kind of understand what I'm trying
your
to get
race in this country is primarily based off of your skin tone.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about like genetically speaking, you can't be, let's just say, a darker skin tone and you're from Ireland. It doesn't. You would have to have been moved there, or your ancestors would have to have been moved there for you to develop that skin tone of a darker complexion, because people in that area of the world, genetically speaking, are fairer skinned.
Yeah, that's just evolution for the most part of them moving from places where darker skin tones and moving to places with different climates in which they're, which they adjusted to lighter skin tones, right? That's all that is. But regardless of any of that sort, you're just, again, describing ethnicity, not race.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense to me.
Genetically, you can do what is it, like Ancestry.com or 23andMe? I don't know which one of those things you do. I don't do any of them, right? You can see, based off your genetics, your ethnicity is from here, but it can't identify you as black. It can't identify you as white.
It can identify a majority of the genetic pairs that you share with people in a certain part of the world.
Right, and then you associate that with race.
What race you would be.
No, then you make the connection of what race that is. Right?
Yes, but I thought you were connecting race to a social thing only. But I understand now that you were talking about it not as race doesn't exist, but we created race to be a social construct.
Okay. You're saying a whole bunch of wrong stuff, and also I feel like you get it, so I'm not really sure where we're at here, but
I understand what you're saying. I'm at work right now, so I'm trying to focus on one thing while talking to you. But I do agree with what you're saying.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad you agree, I think. I hope you have a wonderful day at work.
Thank you.
All right.
You as well. I'm watching the stream. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. He confused me. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I don't know. That was confusing to me. I think he might have had it. I don't know if he did. We'll just say he got it. We'll give everybody happy. And we're good. All right. Ken, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It says some things are slogans, not organizations. Example, MAGA. What a great example, Ken. I think we did too. I'm not sure. Okay. We're gonna take the win. All right. We're gonna take the win. Actually, MAGA. Exactly. There is no organizational structure of MAGA. There's just MAGA. I completely agree with that. Thank you so much, Ken. That was very good. And Bo, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, can you tell these easily brainwashed to stop calling without Googling first? These are painful. I do wish people, how do I put this? Some of the stuff that I'm told, I'm just like, and maybe this is just my curiosity. Maybe it's my curiosity where I'm I'm just naturally hey, this confuses me or this doesn't sound right. So I Google it or I look it up or I do research on it. Right. And the fact that some people just hear the craziest shit you ever heard in your life and they're just like, oh, sounds good to me. I don't know. It's crazy. Cass, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says ethnicity is to genes, race is to socially constructed of skin color. Thank you. I think you just said that. You said what I was trying to say in a lot less words. Does that make sense? Make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That's what I was trying to say. I think I said that in way too many words. I think you just said it in a lot less words. So thank you so much for that, Cass. I appreciate that. All right, this person, Melanie, keeps being in the chat saying, I just have a question. I will bring her up so she can ask her question. Wait, hold on. Melanie, you've been sitting in there talking about the question and I bring you up and then you disappear? That's crazy. That's crazy. She's literally just been in that chat just bring me up, bring me up. Okay, here she is. Here she is again. Hold on, let's see. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? Sorry, you kept
I
saying you
just
have a
wanted to
question.
say, yes, I do. I just don't know how any parent that loves their child can vote for this freaking piece of shit.
I don't know if that's a
That's all I wanted to
question, but
say.
it's a great comment.
Yes, sir. Like, I just don't understand. Like, how can you say you love your child and support this freaking pedophile? I don't understand, but that's it. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I hope you have a good one. All right. That I'll be honest with you, that
Me
went a
too.
lot better than I thought it was gonna go. I thought I was about to hear some crazy shit. So let's see let's see who's this person. Let's see who you are. Let's see who you are. Usually I just go with phone calls, but I'll try this for a second. Hello? Hello? All right, you're not there. Yeah, I'm bored too. Let's see if we can get a phone call in. We'll try that out. Hello, how are you?
I'm excellent. Yourself?
Also excellent. How old are you?
41.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do, absolutely.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
I just, I feel like I didn't get a nominee for the Democrats, and like they're not really listening to their base and things like that. So it's just really difficult to vote for a Democrat because they don't put up anything that anybody votes for. Kamala had, a little over 100 days once Biden was out of it, and Biden being the whole vice president thing, and then they ran Hillary. I feel like they don't listen to their constituents. They don't listen to their base, and they're not putting up anybody that America can get behind. We need hardliners right now, and we need hardliners for national defense reasons, and we can't have anything solved right now.
Hold on. See, and here's the problem. Okay, with your statement. You're right. The Democratic Party has done a very bad job of supporting their base. And yes, they do a very bad job of selecting candidates. I agree with all of those things. That's very, very true. What does that have to do with supporting Trump?
Supporting Trump, I mean, even if you're against him, I mean, he's just the lesser of two evils. There's dirty.
No, see, that's where you're off.
Happen. No, I mean, I understand, there's a difference, but how else are you going to go about some of these difficult issues that we have to, accomplish?
With educated people that know how to deal with difficult issues?
With educated people, like, okay, and how are they going to do something different? I mean, everybody's got educated people, the left and the right wing. I mean,
yeah, and then still the Republicans. Yeah, and then still the Republicans chose Trump. It was wild.
The Harvard and Yale graduates. I mean, that's like every single president. There's DeSantis is he a Yale or a Harvard? You got all these people coming from the same schools and universities on both sides at the higher levels. I mean, so
yeah,
they're educated. The education's there.
It's not just education, sir. We had someone like Kamala Harris, who is literally has a degree in law, has an economics degree, served as district attorney, served as a senator, served as a vice president, has all the qualifications and the know-how in order to actually fix problems. As the vice president, she was crucial in fixing many problems in the United States, right? And supporting the president. And then still we chose a reality TV star who's bankrupted 7 businesses.
Yeah, because she got. Well, I mean, another thing is, I mean, those are good, legitimate points. But Kamala Harris, she didn't have very long. I mean, as the Democratic Party kind of failed her. They should have ran her for longer when Biden knew that he shouldn't be running for a second term. And in addition to that, that whole administration, they sent her to losing issues. They sent her to be the bad guy, the face of the administration for losing issues that weren't popular, like the border. She was the label of bad things happening under that administration. They ran her into the ground.
Which is amazing. And, after all of that she was still a better candidate than Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, we live in a democratic society where people get to vote, and he won a second term.
People voted for Nixon.
People out there.
People voted for Hitler.
Yeah, well, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
I mean, this
just
is
because you
clear.
vote for someone doesn't make them better.
It doesn't make them worse. Wouldn't you say that's the same thing?
No, Donald Trump's
Same?
worse all on his own.
I mean, you got to have some kind of objective unit of measurement that's going to separate the politics and the
Sure,
emotion, and
Donald
really
Trump's
look at it
economy
like a number.
worse. Cool. Donald Trump's economy in his first term worse. Donald Trump's economy in his second term worse. Or standing amongst the world in his first term worse. Standing amongst the world in his second term worse. Trade worse. I don't like
Yeah.
what standing do you want to go on?
Worse isn't a number. I mean, you're not comparing.
Sure. How about
you're
the
not
worst
comparing
job
a
numbers
number.
since COVID? How about the highest
what are
unemployment
those
rate?
numbers?
4.3%, the highest unemployment rate since the shutdown for COVID. Okay. The
The
loss
shutdown
of
for COVID,
13,000 jobs in June, the worst since we shut down for COVID. The loss of
Jobs
over
in what?
160,000 manufacturing jobs between January and June of this year.
Yeah, that's going to be par for the course for all administrations.
Incorrect.
I work around a bunch of robots. Correct. I mean, I live
Incorrect.
it. I see it.
We had
I work
record
on the
low
robots. I
unemployment
had to
rates under the
advance.
Biden administration.
Record low unemployment rates. I mean, we had a lot of we had open borders too. I mean,
We
you
did not
had
have open
everybody
borders.
coming in there. We did.
No, we didn't.
I mean, you look at the deportations and when they stopped. I mean, the
What do you
porter
mean when
in
they
chief,
stopped?
I mean, that
Deportations
was,
never stopped.
they never stopped completely. That's correct. We can agree on that much. But Obama deported a ton of
So did
illegal
Biden.
immigrants. He deported. No, I mean, if you look at those numbers, which are made available to the public,
Then you will
you
see
can
his
see that
deportation numbers are incredibly high.
Biden's.
Yeah, Biden deported more people in his 4 years than Trump did in his first term. You understand that, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, by a long
cite your
shot,
sources.
actually. He deported
Cite your
685,000 people at the southern border just last year.
Who? Biden?
Mm-hmm.
No. Cite your sources. Where is
It's
this
Customs and
coming
Border
from?
Protection.
Like,
CBP.org.
your cousins in Border Protection or CBP.org. I mean, I'm talking about like
The
I look up
CDC, the
statistics
Council for
and,
Immigration
like,
Studies, the Pew Research Center, they all back the data.
the Center for Disease Control keeps records
They
on
do.
deportations.
They do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's news to me. I'll have to look
Sure
into
do.
that. I mean, these are all kinds of vagaries, and I mean, you run a pretty serious operation. A lot of people call in, and I'm just glad that you've been respectful. I mean, because people can disagree, but a lot of these numbers, I just don't see them. I mean, and you say that the whole world's going to hell. I mean, we can both agree on that, but I think it's been trending that way for a long time.
I don't think the whole world's going to hell.
Trump, well, I do.
I think the
and
U.S. is
Trump
going to
on
hell, but I don't think the whole world is going to hell.
What do you base that observation off of?
Yeah, again, the loss of hegemonic power in the United States, right? Our standing amongst the world is very much degraded right now. Our economy is on a downturn while our enemies and our threats, their economies are on an upturn,
Yeah, so I would say that for that, so do you think the tariffs are a good thing or a bad thing? Because I mean,
They're, of course, a
I
bad
think
thing.
the tariffs were a long time coming. Because if you look at that, that's a lot of numbers there, and there was countries that were really taking advantage of us, and
Like who?
we've kind of put them under the gun. Canada.
How was Canada
where,
taking advantage of us?
primarily timber products.
How were they taking advantage of us? And will you please also explain to me how they were taking advantage of us, considering that Donald Trump in his first term signed the USMCA, which was exactly the way that we trade with Canada?
The USMCA?
Yes, the
What is that an acronym
USMCA.
for?
The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement.
United States. What's the difference between that and NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement?
NAFTA expired,
for 3 years.
USMCA took it over.
Okay. Well, the tariff rates on imported Canadian lumber was higher. Some say between 50 to 70% on traditional hardwoods, whereas pulp products, primarily pine rendered from the southeastern United States, would go up, and that was the stuff that was getting the higher tariff, whereas the 50 to 70% tariff. Whereas the things that were brought into the United States were much more beneficial to Canada. Traditional, there's going to be more hardwoods, around colder places and things like that.
I
'Cause
don't think the
Canada, I mean,
tariff had a
what did they
hold
use?
on. You're saying Canada had a tariff on U.S. lumber?
Yeah, things being imported to Canada, they had to pay more for those things. Yeah.
Let's see. The Canada have a tariff on U.S. lumber. First of all, it's weird to even say that was unfair, but regardless, let's see.
So it was fair.
Canadian softwood hit 10%. Oh, they're actually raising it. Oh, that's funny. That was actually today.
Yeah, that's a
Oh
big
no,
part
that's
of
the
it. I mean,
U.S.
especially
doing
with
that.
Canada
Let's
timber.
see. Let's see. History of Canadian tariffs on U.S. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look. Because I'm not seeing any of that.
It's going to be a lot of it, you know, the internet. It's just like the TV nowadays. You can turn on Fox News or you can turn on CNN. You're going to get a lot of different things. Like I saw a bill today that was, it was a Brian Mast proposal, but that was to remove, you know, take away people's passports.
Yeah, it's crazy how I'm going through these like Canadian tariffs and they're like non-existent. I mean, there's a small one on beef at a certain point. Let's see if I can find. Yeah.
Yeah, timber's the biggest. That's the biggest contention right now. Is, you know.
Well,
American
yeah,
timber.
because they're adding tariffs to
We
us because
export a
we're
lot
adding
of it.
tariffs on to them.
Yeah, and trade wars. Yeah. I mean, it used to be.
Yeah, but we started that.
Manufacturing or production, the unfinished goods loophole and things like that's why America has some of these jobs that didn't go overseas.
USMCA.
You know. I don't even like this. Keep running.
Yeah, there is no single tariff rate on lumber under the U.S. Mexico-Canada agreement. Instead, Canadian softwood lumber is subjected to countervailing and anti-dumping duties due to a long-standing trade dispute. These duties were recently increased and are compounded by the new Section 232 tariffs announced in September 2025. Combined anti-dumping and countervailing duties. As a result of the U.S. Department of Commerce's sixth administration review in July and August of 2025, most Canadian producers face a combined tariff. Yeah, no, there wasn't one until Trump came in office and just created one.
A tariff, there wasn't one. That's a good thing. I mean, there's tariffs on U.S. goods going to Canada, and that's a great example.
No, sir, Canada didn't have a tariff on us.
They have plenty of tariffs that exist.
No, sir, you made the claim that there was a Canadian tariff on lumber, which we needed to be reciprocal towards, and that's not accurate.
Maybe it was pre-existing. I don't have my computer.
It was not pre-existing. That's what I just looked up. There was no tariff on that. Let's see. The softwood lumber industry is an important sector of the Canadian economy, supporting thousands of jobs. Canada increase. Let's see. In the United States, where demand for lumber exceeds that of domestic mills can supply, housing and other industries rely on Canada for stable, predictable access to quality wood. In 2006, softwood lumber agreement, which provides stability and predictability for industries on both sides of the border, expired October 12, 2015. Soft lumber dispute. The Canada-U.S. softwood lumber dispute has become one of the most enduring trade disputes between the both nations. Over the past 25 years, the United States lumber industry has frequently sought U.S. government restrictions on Canadian softwood imports throughout the application of U.S. countervailing duties and anti-dumping laws that allow the imposition of importing duties when a U.S. industry is allegedly harmed by subsidies in the exporting country, countervailing duties, or by dumping, which is when a U.S. industry is allegedly harmed by imported products sold at a price that are lower than the cost of production or lower price than the domestic marketing. Canada challenges U.S. anti-dumping, blah, 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 blah. Cool. Yeah, I can pull up all this stuff too. By the way, it's in my sources, in my subscribers. So if you're a subscriber and a member in my Discord, you can see the source that I'm actually looking at right now. Really great source.
Yeah, the Discord thing, like, again, you know, I'm 41. I think the last time somebody, I think it was, somebody brought it up, like that was, it was really popular in like video game communities and things like that. I mean, I've done Reddit, but I've never really got into the video game and the Discord thing. So I could certainly download it, but you can see there that the trade war and the tariffs, primarily around lumber and the dispute that's been ongoing about lumber between Canada and the United States and how it substantially harms
U.S. manufactured
Yeah, but
timber.
Donald Trump's
and,
tariffs didn't fix this. It
workers.
just made it worse.
Oh, they made it worse. Oh, okay. Well, why
Yeah,
would it
Donald
do
Trump
that?
added tariffs, so
Why would
Canada
he-
added more tariffs, and now this whole situation is worse.
How is it worse? I mean, Canada's gonna have to,
Because we need their lumber.
They're gonna have to start bringing our products into their market for cheaper, or they're
No,
gonna have
they're
to respond to that in a way that's gonna be beneficial to the United States.
not only do they not have to, they're not going to, and they haven't.
Well, I mean, what kind of natural resources what does Canada
Lumber.
really produce? Like,
If anything, lumber. Yeah.
Lumber and maple syrup.
Well, they produce
And,
a whole lot
those
of
are-
stuff, but yeah.
Like, snow and
You do realize
snow
like
and
half of our
ice.
Northeast runs off of Canadian energy, right?
With the oil sands thing, like I've heard of the oil sands thing, and I've also heard that the refinery process to get the oil sands can be pretty significant. And I'm really not an expert with the
Sir-
Keystone XL pipeline and things like that.
Donald
I know
Trump
that was
literally
a big
tariffed
debate.
countries with no people on them.
I've heard that he put some on some islands. I really think that he's the president, and that's probably somebody in his cabinet that made a default decision. Like, hey, here's this island with a population of 7. Let's put tariffs on them. And then when that came to light, it was adjusted.
The
I
the
can
population
recall,
was
that
zero.
was on NPR. Yeah,
The population was 0. And how is that
Yeah, so-
reciprocal?
Well, it wasn't reciprocal because the
Okay,
population.
so my
zero
question is,
couldn't
if
be.
Donald Trump is only putting on reciprocal tariffs, like you're saying something with lumber, all right, and that he's evening it out, then how are we evening it out with countries that don't have people, so therefore can't have tariffs on us? I'll give you another example. He put a 90% tariff on Vietnam when they had about a 5% tariff on that. How is that even?
Well, that would be like there could be several different things that have tariffs on them, where it's just not, hey, trade with this country, it will receive a flat base 5% tariff. Where Vietnam, like a textile, like a North Face jacket, for instance, where say, hey, textiles is going to be 5%, but some other kind of technology or a spice or a food product that could receive a 30% tariff.
But
And
that's
so
not what
when
Donald
they
Trump did.
average, when they collect all that and average it out, they could say, hey, they need a 90% because they're really hitting us on things like automotive.
They literally
or,
didn't have a singular
industrial
tariff on us that
mechanical.
went over 12%, and we put a 90% tariff on them. But let's be very clear that Donald Trump put a
It's
blanket 50,
cumulative.
but Donald
Cumulative.
Trump put a 15% tariff on
Yeah,
every
but-
country.
yeah, but-
So therefore, how is
Yeah,
that
but-
reciprocal?
Well, and I just explained to you how it's reciprocal.
No, sir, you're
Yeah,
saying,
but-
so what you're saying is,
No,
so this
I
is what
mean,
you're, okay,
you
then
just
I'll
don't
I'll
wanna-
repeat back to you. I'll be back to you.
Yeah,
I'll
but-
repeat it back to you.
Yeah, but-
and you tell me how this makes sense.
The
Okay?
but part. You're moving on. You're doing the pace breaking thing. I mean, when I bring up a good point, I mean, I just.
Well, then, sir, why won't you let
I
me
think
repeat
that,
your point back to you?
Well, because the but part. Cause
I didn't say
whenever I
yeah,
make a
but
good
I'm
point,
trying
it
to
seems
explain.
be-
I'm trying to repeat your
No,
point
it
back to
seems
you,
to be like
and then
it's-
you can explain it
you're
back to me. That
implementing
way, I
a
don't have to do a yet but.
You're implementing a technique that I've recognized.
It
I
sounds
call it
like you
wreck
don't
the
want me to
tech.
actually ask
Wreck
you a
the
question
tech.
about what
Wreck
you
the
said.
tech. Wreck the tech. Where, all right, so your technique now is to talk over people consistently.
No, I'm just going to
when
ask
bring
you a
up good
question.
point,
That's
and then
all. I don't
keep
know
it
why you're
moving
having such a
on.
hard time.
No, I mean, I'm not having a hard time. I
Please don't
recognize
crash
the
out, sir.
technique
It
that
is
you're
really
implementing.
unbecoming of human beings,
All right.
okay?
Crashing
Anyways,
out,
my
that's a
question was,
cultural
so you're
term,
saying that it was a cumulative
see,
thing,
so
right?
Anyways, but. I mean,
All
I'm
right,
bringing
sir.
up good points,
I'm trying to
and
have
you
a conversation
quickly
with you.
wanna move on
If
past-
you want to sit here
I'm
and
trying
crash
to have
out,
a
then I'll move.
conversation
Then
too, but
shut
you're
the
talking
hell
over
up.
me and you're using,
Then be
well, now
quiet.
you're using profanities. You're losing
Oh,
your cool. Just
I'm not
because I
losing
brought
my
up
cool,
a
sir.
good
You're just
point,
fucking
and
being
I
annoying.
explained to you.
All right, you are now muted and nobody else can hear you. If you want to act like a child, petulant child, then I will treat you like one, okay? I'm not scared, sir. I'm trying to ask you a question. All right, I'm going to ask the question and you can either listen or not listen. It doesn't matter to me. So, what you said was, okay, you said that if you actually make it a cumulative tariff, right? If you actually make it a cumulative tariff,
tariffs,
all
'cause they
right,
moved on,
then it
yeah.
equals the exact amount of tariff that Donald Trump put on. So my question is, if it becomes a cumulative tariff, right? If it becomes a cumulative tariff on that entire country's products, then how did every single country become 15% off that cumulative tariff that you're talking about, which makes it reciprocal?
Every single country, because it's not a one flat base tariff for every single country. No, countries have a tariff placed onto them that's different percentage-wise on different
Trump
items
put
or
a
things.
15% blanket tariff on all
manufacturing.
of these countries. He did not specify industry. He put a 15% blanket tariff on all of these countries. How is that reciprocal?
All of these, or
all of the countries on the planet. I'm sorry, I didn't need to know. No, I need to make it that
all of
fucking
these
specific
are all
for
of
you.
the countries. That would be
I'll
like
just wait
all
for
of
your
the
answer,
countries.
sir. Now you're
All
playing
of
semantics,
these.
talking about debate tactics.
You're
You see,
losing your cool all
you're
over
playing
these
semantics
techniques
in
that
order
have
to
been
avoid
recognized.
answering the question. See, I can also pick out when you're doing things too.
Well, I'm wrecking the tech. I'm recognizing the technique, and I'm
No,
shouting
you
it
are
out, and
actually
I'm pointing it
implementing a
out,
technique
and
in
I
order
am.
to avoid the question. I'll still wait for your answer.
No, you're just not understanding.
All right. Well, I would
things
like
that are
everyone to show that this
difficult,
person
and
is
I
now
mean,
refusing to
there's
answer the question that I specifically
like,
asked
what are
him
you, like
about
the
his
talking
exact
police or
point,
something
because
like that?
he's now
I
trying to
think you
use
just
techniques,
got
and now
you
he's
just
moving
got
to ad
burned
hom
out.
arguments in
Maybe
order
I
to
should
freaking
get
avoid
into
answering the
maybe I
question.
should get into
Do you
live
see how
streaming or
his
something
question
like
makes
this.
absolutely
If I'm
no sense after it takes any type of scrutiny whatsoever? Yeah. Anyways, Jay Lee, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, did MAGA Rump stop another war today? Is it war he started on we the US citizens? Yeah, apparently he just starts wars all the time. Apparently he needs to start, using the military to practice on, on American citizens. Are you ready to answer my question yet, sir?
are we talking about martial law, timber,
No, I'm talking
or
about the
semantics?
15%
What are you
tariff and
doing
how
now?
it's reciprocal. I'm still waiting on your answer.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, what is your question?
Oh, I guess you're not ready to answer. Let me know when you're ready, okay? I'll just go through some super chats until you
On
figure it
different
out,
items,
okay?
but all countries
All
got
right,
a
Bo.
15. Now talk over me.
No, you said you
Now
didn't
we
know the
talk
question.
over
How could you be talking over me?
I think you run and pivot like a lot of these
Really,
techniques.
as
Like
I'm
I've
asking you
watched
the
a lot of
same
debates,
question
but
multiple times?
anyways, I got to get back to work
You
here
probably
for
should.
the
You're really not good
military-industrial
at this.
complex. So it's been real.
Yeah, you're really not good at this. You should.
Oh, I'm not good at it, man. I've been on the phone
Notice
with
how
you
the
for
person
21
now
minutes.
is just crying and running, the same person that said I was using tactics on him. After I asked him a simple question about what his stance was. Anyways, Bo said kids hate watching but are afraid to call is so funny barking in the chat. Oh, I love the barking in the chat. They're funny. And Mel, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, a riddle to help my brain rot. I may be a goddess or simply a thought. I'm chased when I'm present, missed when I'm not, to ponder, to wonder, or something to use. I carry all meanings, for I am a... I'm not good at riddles. I may be a goddess or simply a thought. I'm chased when I'm present and missed when I'm not. To ponder, to wonder, or something to use. I carry all meanings, for I am a... Muse? Crocodile. Someone said crocodile. Everyone's saying Muse. I think it's Muse. I like crocodile better, though. I also see rooster in the chat. That's also a possibility. Thank you so much, Mel, for the riddle. Or I stink at riddles. I have no idea. Ruse? Someone said ruse. I like that one too. Let's see. And Ken, thank you so much for the super chat. Says that caller made the most sense when he was muted. Honestly, he didn't. That's why I muted him. I could still hear him the whole time, and he made actually less sense. He actually really just started crying a lot about how he didn't like that I started calling him out on the debate tactics that he was trying to use after he called me on something that I'm just asking him a question about. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I am going to end the live tonight. I am way past overdue. I will see you guys tomorrow, 7:30. I won't be on until 7:30 tomorrow. I have tennis tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening, all right? See you guys later. Bye.